Big old trash can ending. It's funny to me how many people at NAMM plugged into that and like would go to the neck pickup. There's no neck pickup.
No, I know.
But they would hit the switch to go to that position and try to play leads and just be like, it's not going. It's like, there's no pickup. It's a useless switch.
It's not useless. You could do that like.
You do like the Buckethead thing. Remember that Buckethead song? Or Rage Against the Machine. That also works. So what you're saying is that Switch is gonna last 2 days.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I imagine it is probably the highest caliber of Switch too. It's also like the switches that I've used when you try to use it as a kill switch are normally like really soft, really fast, right? This is like super hard latching.
It's literally like a pickup selector switch. Bonfire. TJ, what's up? Hey, TJ, I heard you have a Les Paul.
Also, TJ, that guitar is awesome.
It's pentatonic. Yeah, that's
It's
it.
somewhere in there. It's horrible. So it is.
There's so much that just happened off
I
the
know.
start of this stream.
Is there any way you can make that bigger? Because I'm old and I can't read that very well, Luke. Can you change the resolution for us? And
Yes.
What's up, everybody?
so
TJ, how's it going, dude?
yeah, what is going on, everybody? It is Wednesday, and we are
We're back.
feeling good on a Wednesday.
We are.
Yeah.
How's
Yeah,
that?
that is right.
Beauty.
Scott B. Farthingsworth. Smash the like button for us. Yeah.
Aesthetically pleasing. Smash the like.
All right.
You milk bags, what's up?
Yeah. What's going on? So, this is our NAMM episode because I've been gone for forever.
Yeah.
To talk about NAMM.
What's the scale length of my guitar? You could ask Aaron. I think it's a 26.5.
It is that long.
Yeah.
So,
26.5, I believe.
is Gear and Beer. So, I've been away for a while, and our wonderful staff here have chosen not to spend our money on beer and just drink PBR or whatever is in the fridge.
Yeah.
So I commend you.
I went and I bought a 15 of PBR and a 15 of Keys. Yeah. And that was it. I was like, Derek's gonna be pissed if I go buy a bunch of good beer while he's gone. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I wouldn't be pissed, but I was like, I got back and I looked at the fridge in my office and I was like, there's nothing in here.
Yeah.
Like, except
Nothing
PBR
but
and a
nectar.
couple of randos like,
Yeah.
from
but
like
nectar.
different Gear and Beer events like Nashville and wherever. So,
Yeah.
so tonight
We're back
we are back.
with the PBRs.
PBR for me.
I got the Waves. This was one of the hanger honors of the local beers I did buy, which is the Waves Pale Ale from Kilter, once again.
Yeah. So, how's everybody's, well, like for me, month been? Like the last time I was on was a month ago.
Well, we left on the 15th, and that was a Monday.
Yeah, and we did the Gear and Beer at Flipside Music on the 17th.
The 10th would have been your last stream, 9th or 10th
No,
of February.
17th at. Well,
Oh,
like,
yeah, here, I mean.
Yeah, the last- yeah,
Flipside
so-
we did, yeah. That's crazy, though. That was a month ago already. That's wild. It doesn't feel like that was a month ago, but yes. It's the pirate version.
We went so long without hearing
That's
that.
top sale. It's the pirate
So,
version.
Dylan, I am older since you saw me. Have aged many, many days.
Yes, many road years.
Oh,
Yeah,
bullshit.
you got caught in the weather on the way back.
Yeah, it wasn't fun. Dave was actually, I don't know if you heard, but David, our Tolexing guy, was literally the day behind me coming down the same, like he came down the same highway.
Because he was in Arizona, yeah.
And he was like, what a horrible drive that was. And I'm like, yeah, it was shit, man. It sucked.
It sucks.
It's like, I was behind you. I was like, oh, you should have texted me.
Convoy.
I wouldn't have hung out, but would
Yeah.
have been good to know.
Yeah, he went down to. Yeah, I didn't know they drove down. He just said he was going to Arizona, and I just
Yeah.
assumed he was flying. He's like, no, we drove down. They did a bunch of hikes and stuff on the way down. It's cool.
Yeah.
What's up, Mike? How's it going, dude? Good to see you.
So it's the, I had told Sam, like, don't do the NAMM review thing until I get back, because I have lots of thoughts, and I would like to be able to talk about them without having to like bring it up on a secondary. Like, well, I know you guys talked about NAMM like 2 weeks ago, but can I talk?
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that
for
too?
sure.
No.
Well,
So-
and I feel like, you know, for you, it ends up being a full thing because like we stopped at a bunch of different dealers on the way down.
Yep.
You stayed for a bit for holidays, as generally you end up doing, and then
Yep.
on the way back, stopping at more dealers and
Yep.
all that stuff. Like that's the thing is like, you know, for us to physically be able to, it's a long haul, but to physically be in these places allows for a lot of things that we generally try to take advantage of, just because we don't often get into these areas and like actually
Yeah.
be able to go have a physical presence like at a lot of these places. You know, like
Yeah.
like it's long. But it makes sense for us to take advantage of it while we're doing it, you know?
Yeah, and like my kids' birthdays, I've got 4 kids, and 2 of my kids' birthdays are very close to NAMM time.
Yeah.
So I always end up like taking holidays. And also for me, I mean, it's like this for a lot of the staff, but especially for me, it's about, I would say 2 months before the show is crazy.
Yeah.
And there's a ton of logistics and booth building and creation stuff that I end up primarily doing. Dorian does a lot too, and Manny, and but I pretty much end up being the guy that coordinates all of it. And so the 2 months leading up to the show, and the show is just a shit show for me. So then as soon as it's over, I'm like, as soon as it's into, like the booth is back in the locker, I am going on vacation.
Yeah.
And I will be gone for a week or 10 days or whatever. So
Yep.
yeah, so it's
And then you'll still work.
well, and then yeah, Shh, my wife is gonna watch this, and thank you for that, Sam.
I was just
You've reminded her of
joking.
what will happen. Yeah,
Sorry,
no,
honey.
it's not. No, it's true. It's crazy because like you have all this cool shit that happens at the show. You see all these people that you haven't seen in a year or several years. Like there's lots of people that we hadn't seen since 2024. Sorry, since 2020, and it's 2024 now. So yeah, there was lots of people kind of to connect with after the show as well. So it was pretty crazy. But yeah, so let's talk about some of the cool things, and let's first of all address these. So
Shout out
yes,
Schecter Guitars.
Shout out Schecter Guitars.
Shout out.
Yep, Adam Murphy, salt of the earth dude over
Yeah.
at Schecter.
Yeah.
While we were driving down, we always borrow guitars from Schecter for the show because we used to just bring a bunch of guitars from here, and then we were like, hey, you know what would be better than doing that? Borrowing guitars that are already in California. Then we don't have to worry about, I don't know, sleeping in the truck on the way there so no one steals our shit, because that's what we used to do all the time.
Yeah.
So, I had asked to borrow an NJ, and we had asked to borrow the Aaron Marshall.
Yeah.
And as a joke, like when we were driving down, I was like, hey, I'm going to email Schecter and see if we can get the MGK Razor.
Yeah,
and,
they had just released it like
Yeah.
freshly when we were planning this.
And,
Yeah.
and I emailed Adam, and Adam was like, sure. So we had this. We had this Aaron Marshall and 7-string.
Yep. This is great. Like
yeah.
for an offshore guitar, man, to have this, like it has the same type of like wingate
got a
neck as the
wingate
NJ.
neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like to have this quality of neck and like the electronics sound great. It feels awesome. Like this for the price of it for an offshore guitar, not just plugging it because Aaron's a friend, but like this is an amazing guitar for this price.
Yeah.
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 And then they, of course, lent us a HSS import Schecter. Nick Johnson, Diamond Series, I guess is what we should call it instead of import.
Yes.
Which
I used to affiliate the Diamond Series just with like Mohawks and Metal Militia shirts.
Yeah.
But now it's like just the
khaki
offshore.
bagos.
Yeah.
so
Baggy cargos.
so they lent us the guitars for the show, and then we were lending them our empty cabinets that we had at the show for after the show for their video studio. And when I went to take the cabinets over to them and to return the guitars, I like texted Adam like right before I got there, and I was like, "Hey, is there any chance I could borrow the Razor for a bit to bring it back to show on Gear and Beer?" And Adam was just like, "Nah, man, you can just have it." And I was like, "Yes."
So we get
Like,
to keep the Razor
so
guitar.
this is now ours, and it's funny because I figured at NAMM I'm like, it'll be the meme guitar for sure, and there'll be photos and video, and people will be hyped about it. But before you say anything else, I have to say this about this guitar. I care about one thing on any guitar I ever pick up. There's only one thing that I give a rat's ass about, and that is, how does the neck feel? Everything else can be changed, in my opinion. But how does the neck feel? And as soon as I picked up this guitar, I was like, this neck is really nice. Like,
I was gonna say
it
I feel,
is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to tell you to go buy one of these because they only made I heard they only made 80 or 90 of them. Like there's not a lot of them. This neck is ridiculously good for such a stupid instrument.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was the consensus at NAMM is like everyone would walk by the booth and look at it and be like, "Oh, you actually got one of those things? I'm gonna try." And then they'd pick it up and they'd be like, "Feels pretty good."
Yeah.
It's actually not bad. Sounds great. The neck feels awesome. Like
Garrett, Schecter necks are really good, but dude, there are some that aren't amazing that I have played for sure.
Yeah.
This is not that. This is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
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 I was absolutely blown away. And I mean, it sounds badass. I'm straight into the Generator 120 Revision A, like my original 120 Mark III. And the only effect I have on is I have the timeline. Like, it sounds badass.
Sounds great, man. Yeah. Mike, it's a T2 next week. Nice, dude. Let us know when you get it what you think. Yeah, I think this is the same neck profile that was similar to what was on my old Blackjack.
Yeah.
Like it was a 7-string, but it was the same kind of thing where it's like it's thin, but it's still round. It's not like the super flat type of like thin neck. Locking tuners, EMGs, like just as hard to play sitting down.
Yeah, it does suck to play sitting down, but. So yeah, so this was one thing that was really cool about NAMM is like getting new guitars.
Yeah.
So
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Unexpectedly, like we were just gonna take these to the booth, but I feel like.
yeah.
Sure.
So dumb.
Let's do
So dumb, but yes.
it. Yeah, it's actually pretty sick.
That's very cool.
Yeah. I was just expecting to borrow these, but I guess that's another thing that's cool about NAMM is like, you know, there are a lot of companies that we kind of partner up with and kind of because there's, you know, people are there to try gear out and like us having our amps at like the Schecter booth or they didn't have a booth this year, but like, you know what I mean? Like them or Reverend or,
Yeah.
you know, any Ormsby, Balaguer, any of those companies that we work with. It's great because like it's a good way to cross promote and like kind of make those friendships, you know, and like that's one thing that I really enjoy about NAMM is just that kind of camaraderie because everyone's there to, you know, essentially for the same reason. I mean, different people have different individual reasons that they go, but if you're a company and you're exhibiting there, you're there to network, you're there to you know, show people stuff, and that's a great way to kind of cross promote and make those relationships.
I've said it 100 times and I'll say it again. It's Guitar Player Summer Camp. It's where we get to go.
Yep.
We get to hang out with all of our friends from all over the world, whether they're on the like manufacturing side or distribution side and sales side of it, or whether they're players.
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
Like, or those of you guys that got to come out and hang out at the show, like it. Yeah, it's the only time and the only event that we have anywhere that does that.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
Yeah. I mean, I wish there was other events. Like Guitar Summit in Germany is like kind of slowly becoming a European version of that because Music Messe over in Germany used to be that. But Music Messe died like a crazy death in a very short amount of time. Like it took like 4 years to go from like 200 and some thousand attendees to like 10,000.
Deli Rev, I'd say MGK's guitar only gets more attention than him in the guitar community. I would say otherwise he's doing just fine, but his fans don't really care about guitars.
Brian says, so how do you feel about no more real winter NAMM? What do you mean?
It was real this year.
No, I'm curious what you mean by that, though. Because the only thing I know that there's no more real of is Summer NAMM is gone.
It is like axed. It's done.
Yeah, it's done. That's what I've been told by our NAMM reps is that it's not coming back. So.
Gotcha.
I mean, who knows if they'll change their mind down.
I don't know how I feel about
that.
I didn't like Summer NAMM was just a different vibe. I liked it.
Loved it.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites. Probably my favorite of the shows because
it's
I
less
love
chaotic.
Well, it's that, and what I really loved about it more than anything was that number one, Nashville is my favorite city, hands down.
I thought that until I spent a few days in Austin.
Yeah, I'm not saying that because of the city. I'm saying that because of the people that I know in Nashville.
Oh yes, Nashville's
So
like the
Nashville
spot,
is
yeah.
essentially like my second home, right?
Yes.
And
Correct.
So I loved going there, like for that reason. But the reason that I thought Summer NAMM was so badass was that, and this is nothing against unions or anything, just to preface this, but Nashville's a right-to-work state. So when you book to exhibit at Summer NAMM, you didn't have to hire the union labor to be there. So the cost of the show was a fraction of the cost in Nashville. Now, I'm not saying that because I was that concerned about what we were spending on NAMM,
Sorry,
which I am. But
sorry, Anaheim was more expensive because of that?
no, Nashville is cheaper than Anaheim because
You don't have to pay
you don't
labor.
have to pay
Right,
union
okay.
labor. You can carry your own booth in. Like, you don't have to hire them to do anything. You can do everything yourself in Nashville, okay? Now, the reason I care about that is part of it is, like it's nice for us to not have to spend such an insane amount of money, because we'll get a little bit into what NAMM costs a little further down the stream here. But what that allowed for is, like, I think kind of the minimum cost to do Anaheim, you're really looking at, honestly, by the time you get there, pay for your floor space, pay for the electrical that you have to pay for flooring, because you have to cover the floor with something, shipping your stuff in, all that stuff, hotels. I'd say the minimum any booth is going to be in to for Winter NAMM is probably $7. No, I don't think you could do it for only $7. I'd say $8, $9 grand is kind of the minimum you're going to be
and
into.
that's like bare minimum. Like,
right?
nothing
Where-
fancy, like, yeah.
Where Summer NAMM, that was Winter NAMM, that's the minimum. Summer NAMM, you could just get a table.
Yeah.
Like a small table space. You don't have to get a big 10 by 10 booth. So what I loved about it was, for any of you guys that are familiar with the stream, I love pedals and I love weird gear, right?
Correct.
So what happened at Summer NAMM is you had all these cool boutique pedal builders and amp builders and that would come to that show. So you would see all sorts of cool shit that you would have no chance of seeing in Anaheim, because those small guys could
Wouldn't
never
do it.
afford to pay to be at Anaheim, but they would pay to be in Nashville because, like, well, back then, 2015, 2016, I mean, you could get your booth for like under $1,000 at Summer NAMM, and you could probably get a hotel there for $120 a night, where Anaheim, like, it's
they
like
jack it
300
right
and
up.
something is like kind of the
Yeah.
low end.
Yeah.
So yeah, so like that's what I loved about Summer NAMM. I mean, I did hate that it was in June or July and it was, hotter than Satan's butthole, and like it was.
It was hot. I remember
man.
Remember the first year I went to Nashville with you? I don't know if it was for NAMM,
Summer
but,
NAMM,
but I think it was. But we did that gear and beer thing at House of David.
Yeah.
And
no, it's Summer
I just remember it was so hot. I had never been to Nashville before, and I'm like, it's hot outside. I'm gonna go eat 10 pounds of hot chicken.
Yeah.
it was the worst
I literally
idea.
would walk from
Yeah.
the house, like the Airbnb, to the van, and by the time I got in the van, I was already visibly sweating, and my shirt was wet. By the time your dad was the same the year that you went with us, like your shirt would be soaked by the time you got into the convention center. So I started just leaving like clean shirts at the booth, so that when I got there and was
You
in the air
just
conditioning,
changed.
I would change my shirt because I'm just too fat for that. So
That's funny.
yeah. So I mean, that's why Ryan Saunders says, who's that? Ryan, who are you with? Your booth was well over 50K. What company are you with, Ryan? NRAF. I don't know who NRAF is.
I was gonna say, I feel like I definitely met several people here at
Yeah.
NAMM, but I just know your screen names.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Mike, it's the humidity, 100%.
Yeah. And it's the fact that it's like 100 degrees plus humidity.
Act Entertainment. Okay,
Okay,
cool,
cool.
awesome. Oh, and this is Tanner. What's
yeah.
up? What's up, Tanner? I should have known that. It's great to see you, Tanner. Thanks for joining the stream again, dude. It was awesome hanging out with you guys at NAMM. That was great.
Yeah, I could see how you could quite easily spend $100,000 at NAMM. I mean, I remember Ken Susi telling me one year that the Fishman booth was like, I think the Fishman booth one year was like $250,000. Like, it was crazy. So, yeah. So, yeah, it's, Ronnie, I struggled being fat in Nashville when I went with you guys. Yeah, you and I were there together, Ronnie. So.
I mean, I'm like normal weight and it was still hot. Yeah. So you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, stop scrolling, I can't read. Some booths were tens of thousands just to put up a big sign soon. Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, the neural
so, Brian,
thing.
yeah, we'll talk about that in a second here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love the NAMM show. I hope it never goes away.
Yeah.
So, okay, so
Rick, sorry, I just want to touch on his comment. He says,
Yeah.
I have to shut the fact that I ran my 120 into a new cab I got with 212 Black Label EV, and it was fire. Selection guy, selection in my DNA, but man, Epson's made through EV. That's good to know, because I've never really had much time to spend with EV speakers, and I've heard a lot of people really enjoy them. So thanks for letting us know, Rick. That's awesome.
Our good buddy Takumi keeps bugging me that I need to build a cab with EV12Ls to run the D25 or the generator into, and
Yeah.
I just, have so much time. So one day I'll do it. So
Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Rap Pedals Ultimate Support, Rapco Horizon Proco
Very
MK
cool.
Sound. That's sick, Ryan. Ryan, we'll have to link up next time you're there, dude. That's
Yeah.
great. We should have came by your booth.
I got very little time this year to leave our booth. There were guys like Tanner that I came out and said hi to that I was like, I'm
Yeah.
so sorry that I haven't seen you for any more of the show, because every time I come out of the booth, I
Yeah.
end up getting tapped
Oh,
on the
dude.
should within like a minute,
I
being
left,
like,
yeah.
your next person is here.
I left the booth once.
Yeah.
The whole show, yeah. Aside from just getting food. But, yeah.
I'm gonna put this guitar down because
Yeah, we're
it's
done.
sliding-
We're done now.
Yeah, it's sliding off my. How much was it to add one more extension cord? Okay, so all right, so you guys want to talk about what NAMM costs and why people don't want to do it? Is that? Are you guys interested in hearing all about that? Chad Neville, I wish Chad Neville was here and at NAMM with us. We missed having you, Chad.
Yeah.
I have a T-shirt to send you as well as
Yes.
your NAMM Pass thing that we.
Made.
Yeah.
Now it's swap between Anaheim and Las Vegas. That would be cool.
What's that?
He said, I wish now would swap between Anaheim and Las Vegas.
Yeah. I don't know.
The strip would be flooded with crazy people.
Dude, the AVN Awards are almost always on during NAMM in Vegas because I have like lots of people that are like, oh, I'm going to Vegas to the AVN Awards. Can you imagine if NAMM was in the same city as the Adult Video Network Awards?
Yeah.
Like, nope.
Oh, Sean says he used to use the EV12Ls for a lot of stuff. Very, very high headroom and very neutral sounding. Cool.
So, yeah, he made it part of his job interview. Oh, Chad, congrats on the new gig too. I saw that, dude. That's awesome. So yeah, Brian's right. $40 a square foot for booth space before flooring, labor, or anything else is what you heard. You heard correctly. It's like $39.85 right
Crazy.
now. And we, for those of you who are good at math, we have a 20 by 30 booth, which is 600 square feet. So essentially our base cost is $24,000 US. Now what you guys don't know about is what it costs to get stuff loaded in and out of the show and the labor to set it up.
That is where they
Which is-
destroy you.
Yes.
Yes.
So for us,
Yeah.
one of the worst things that we have. What guitars are we holding? So I just switched from the MJK Razor from Schecter to this is a new guitar I just got. This is the John Mark offset. Can't remember. I think he called it his Creator Series, maybe. I can't remember.
It's cool.
Why are you saying what? I don't understand what you're
Isn't
saying.
that what the model's called?
What, this
The
guitar?
Meridian? Yeah.
I have no idea if it has a name, dude. I bought this from
feel
a
like-
dude that builds them in Bismarck, North Dakota. Go check him out, John Mark Guitars. I bought it
stalked
because the neck feels amazing. I like the shape of the headstock. It's got gold foils, and it was $1,500, and it's an amazing guitar for $1,500.
Yeah, I haven't played a $1,500 guitar that feels that good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, back to what I was saying about the. So that's what I have, and Sammy's got the 7-string.
The Schecter AM7 Aaron Marshall signature.
Yes.
It's great.
The intervals guitar.
Yes.
So.
I played the American ones that he has, and they are outrageous.
Yeah, I
they're,
bet.
They're so good. Yeah.
Okay, so the key things where they really kick you in the balls at NAMM, cost-wise, is actually not NAMM. It's the convention center that is the real issue, and Freeman, who runs the convention center. So for us, because we have amplifiers and our booth has lots of LED lights and all that fun shit, we have to get a minimum of 2 20-amp circuits to be able to power it. Each 20-amp circuit costs you a minimum of $400 US right now. So we pay a little over $800 for our power. Fun side note, not this year, but the previous 2 years, they tried to charge us an extra $2,400 for our power because they had to bring a scissor lift in to drop the power from the roof because all of the power comes from the roof. This year, because I complained enough the last 2 years that I said that that's bullshit, it doesn't explain it in any of the pre-show like booking paperwork and that you have, that like that's complete horse shit that we would have to pay that. So also, fun side note, we get what's called an island booth, which means we are our own little island. So it's us and Aristides that share that island. They're our desert island friends.
We're isolated together.
If we just booked a 20 by 30 that was not an island, that was part of another like 20 by 50 space, which we have done in the past, if we booked that, we would not have to pay that drop fee. So for some reason, when we book a bigger space and bring a bigger booth, we get penalized by Freeman, or we have the potential to be penalized by Freeman. So it's things like that that if you don't know how to advocate for your company, and by advocate, if you don't know how to go tell them to fuck right off and you're not paying those stupid fees and dumb shit like that, you'll end up paying that stuff and then you're gonna end up just losing and then you're not gonna wanna go back to the show. The other big thing, and this is a huge thing, mainly for amp companies, it's less of an issue for guitar companies, but it's called material handling. Material handling is this. Everything that you choose to take into the NAMM show gets weighed, okay? So when we ship, actually, I would love to see, I know this is gonna flood the comments a little bit, how many of you were at NAMM and saw our booth? I'd love to see how many of you are there. Also, if you weren't at NAMM and saw our booth, how many of you have seen like either photo or videos of it and get kind of an idea of what we're doing? So, and Dylan, your comment there, I'm gonna make, I'll make a comment about the union worker thing. It's not the unions that's actually the issue, right? Like, necessarily. So, yeah. I was, and that was at least 12 pounds of amps you had. So yeah, here's the thing. So our booth this year was seven essentially like pallets or crates and weighed just north of 6,000 pounds. We get 6,000 pounds of material handling for free. We have designed our booth and we meticulously weigh our stuff before we go to make sure that we are going to be underweight. Like for those of you guys that were there that saw the false cabinets that we had, we literally rebuilt false cabinets this year out of like thinner, lightweight plywood to be able to get them into the show. So a cabinet that, in the past, the big NAMM 2024 wall that we had, those cabinets empty weighed about 70 pounds, like 65 pounds, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
The new cabinets empty weighed 40. So they're about half. So we just kind of kept like chipping away at stuff to try to make it lighter and lighter. There's years where the soundproof room we took, we built it out of like tin studs and coroplast, and it was a shit idea that didn't work very well. But you could literally pick up a whole wall panel with like one hand and move it around, right?
Yeah.
So
he asked what Brian asked what they charge you if you're over the weight limit. Did they allocate you a weight limit, or did they just bill you per?
There's no weight limit, but what happens is if you're over your allocated amount on the load-in, it's 50 cents per pound. So for those of you guys that have generator 120s and 4x12 cabinets, and all of our friends that ask to borrow amps at their booths, a Gen 120 and a 4x12 cabinet will weigh a combined total of 157 pounds, maybe 158 pounds.
Yeah.
So to bring that into the show, not for it to leave, just to get it into the show, if we are overweight, it will cost us about $80.
Yeah.
Now, the real kicker is when you go to leave.
Yes.
If you try to leave with it on a Sunday night, Sunday nights are overtime rate. the rate for, on a Sunday night, the rate for your material handling doubles. So it becomes $1 a pound. So that amp to go out, if you wanted to take it out on Sunday night, will be $160.
Yeah.
If you wait till Monday, and Monday's not a holiday, then you're good. But like last year when it was in April, Monday was
A holiday.
a holiday.
So they screwed everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So so we ended up having to get our stuff out of there, and like, yeah, it ends up being like crazy. So anyway, in the end, it can cost you an insane amount of money, and like we do a lot of things. Like I said, we're very, very careful about what the things that we're taking into the show weigh. We also, there is like a little trick that like you're technically allowed to carry in like one like case or
Right.
toolbox or something. So we have 8 guys that come with us, and everybody takes something with them. And typically it's something that is, you know, like a cable trunk, like something that's going to
Yeah.
weigh 150 pounds that you can drag
Yeah.
in, like that's on wheels.
The pelicans that just
yeah.
scrape your knees as you try to pull the cases.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so anyway, the thing is, there are some little things that you can figure out that will help you offset some of your costs, but the vast majority of exhibitors are not going to know that. So to be honest, they're just going to pay the fees. So your booth that costs $24,000, by the time you add all that other stuff in there and you start looking at labor and things like that, because the labor is also crazy expensive, and there's rules about, you know, like technically, and I will say Freeman has been very kind to us this way, that the technical rule is that you can have for every one person from your company that is working building the booth, you are supposed to have 2 Freeman laborers, or, you know, actually, sorry, I think that's reversed. I think for every 2 people in your company, you must have 1 Freeman, like union laborer with you. Mm-hmm. Now, the comment before about like the union wages and stuff like that, I will say this, it is crazy expensive. I believe that if we book our labor in advance, this year it was $140 an hour for a union labor.
One person.
And per person. And then if you are booking them for overtime rate, or if you push past 4:30 on a day during setup, you're paying time and a half on that. Now, those union guys are not getting that money. So that's the other thing that's kind of crazy. I mean, they're paid well, and we're really fortunate. The last 2 years, we've had
good people.
We've had good people, but there have been years where we absolutely had people that were too old to be doing the type of labor that we were doing. I'm not saying that and trying to be ageist. I'm saying 70-some-year-old men cannot lift 40 to 50 pound amplifiers and cabinets and stuff all day long. It's not like they're
not
just
healthy.
it's just not, it just doesn't
Yeah.
work. So we have had it where we got people where we literally were just like, you hand me bolts. I'll pay you $150 an hour to hand me bolts.
Someone saying, no offense intended, but what's the return on all this? It's
So-
like, that's the thing. It's the networking. It's the
Oh.
hang. There's a lot of
Okay.
return. Yeah.
So what do you maybe get? 1 new dealer, feature 2 or 3 demo videos. Doesn't seem worth it for the cost. All right, great question. Let me ask you this. What do you think it would cost to send myself or our new sales guy, Andrew, to Japan, Australia, China, Thailand, Singapore, the UK, Europe, California, Florida, Quebec, Vancouver, to go see our dealers and demo product to them?
That's the return.
The cost in time and money to actually go out and sell everywhere else in the world versus what, like, so for those of you who went to NAMM versus $12, Bunger, you're right.
That's American.
Like for me, the cost for me to go, like, what's the best way to put this? Okay, NAMM was 4 days long. The first 3 days of NAMM, I had 8 hours per day worth of meetings that I could have. I had about a half hour per day that I was not scheduled in a meeting.
Yeah.
So probably about like 20 meetings with either dealers or distributors over the first 3 days, and then some on the Sunday still, like probably another like 4. So, you know, Toffee from Winnipeg, yes. So yeah, So I think in that sense, right, like it's completely worth it. What I don't think is great is that NAMM is not doing anything to try to make it more attractive for dealers to come. This is where it gets really, really challenging, right? Is that, you know, it used to be that not only did you have those meetings and could show those products, that you actually also left with orders from all of those dealers that justified the cost of the show. Yeah, the center of our booth was a meeting room. Yep. And we built our own, like, that we can easily assemble. We've used it now. Oh, we've used one like it for every show.
Yeah.
We've made modifications to it over the years.
Considering
but, like,
what it is, it's not that crazy to put together.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Perfecto? Yeah, Perfecto came by 5 times and didn't see me until the last day. Yeah, it's not crazy. Like the expense isn't crazy when you realize what the actual reward of having it is, right? So, yeah. Yeah, like a lot of companies did that, and if you got a meeting room and did that, man, you could not have your booth cost $24,000 for the floor space, and like by the time you do all the other stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I'd say we're into NAMM when we do it, including everybody flying down there, and renting Airbnbs and all that stuff. I'd say honestly, we're probably about like $55,000 to $60,000 in total, and that's with us. I mean, we do things very smart, though. Like, I'm not trying to brag about that, but like, we have a storage locker in Anaheim. Like, we don't ship our stuff in and out of Canada. We just take new product in and out. But like, the actual fixtures and everything are like, of the 7 pallets that we brought in, like 5 of them are stored 5 minutes from the convention center, and yeah. So it's so I would say like that's a huge thing, is like not just the cost savings in the amount it would cost us to travel all over the world like that, but the time is such a huge thing.
Yeah.
Also, the thing that is immeasurable about the NAMM show is the amount of people that come by our booth who like have never really had any experience with our product and try it, and the amount of sales that we make after that fact, it's crazy. Yeah. Like the video work that Brian or somebody had commented about there, the video work on the NAMM floor is honestly kind of shit. Yeah, like, do you guys like the...
Dude, even doing like gear demos, it's hard. It's so loud, it's distracting. You're trying to film and people aren't paying attention to the fact that you're filming and just walk in front of you, or like stuff like that, and it's like obviously first world problems, but at the same time the media side of things is definitely not as easy as it would be in a controlled environment, because it's so loud, there's so many people, there's so many different things happening, you know, like
there are a lot of content creators that shot no content at NAMM this year. Like
we were literally talking about that earlier today.
Yeah, and like do you guys like watching the demo videos and stuff that you get? You can scroll back up, because oh yeah, Perfecto, the Korean barbecue was awesome. Scroll back up. There was somebody said something about hotel rooms, and I want to address that. There, okay. Oh, the LA Amp show, like the hotel rooms full of different amp companies. Yeah, that was awesome. But I do want to just say, one thing that does drive me nuts is all of the companies that book a room at the Hilton and try to get people to leave the show to go over to their room at the Hilton because it costs them way less money to do their meetings and that there. I just think like NAMM needs to get their shit together and stop charging companies so much money to be there. They need to work with the convention center and Freeman to make sure that it's a reasonable price. Or, you know, when they're charging, you know, I heard it was $150 to get a ticket to get into the show. If you're charging that to people to get into the show, kick some of that money back to the vendors. Like take it off of what we're paying per square foot and just open it up to the public. But yeah.
Totally. You'd make more money that way.
You like watching the demos at NAMM, but you adjust your expectations. Yeah. Videos from NAMM tend to be a noisy mess. Yep, 100%. Like, it's, that's challenging. Next time, go down with a short RV and a trailer, screw hotels and the Airbnb. Man, Airbnbs aren't too bad, actually, considering what we got. Like, the place we stayed was nice, and honestly, I think for a week we paid, like, less than 3,000 Canadian for, there were 7 of us there.
Yeah.
I'll take that all day long.
Per person, that's not bad.
Yep. So, Corey hates NAMM demos. You see you them the same way you view YouTube shorts. Yeah. So, Friday night Marriott Hotel Music Jam at NAMM is the best. Yeah, dude, there's so much great stuff that happens in and around the show that, again, it's just like, it's Guitar Player Summer Camp. You get to see all this cool gear. You get to learn, about new things. You get to see all of these people. It's the most fun.
Yeah. It's great.
And when you're on, my side of it, where you're in meetings and stuff like that, again, like you get to kill like 25 birds with one stone. It's really
25
awesome.
25 birds stoned at one time.
Yeah, exactly. 25 birds stoned at one time. People are showing up because of all of the vendors. They're making money regardless. That's crazy. Ryan played 285 night next door to the convention center. That's actually pretty good, like, that you're right next to the convention center, because we had some guys that were, like Sean stayed probably like 5 minutes from the convention center, and I'm sure we paid at least that much for Sean's room. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's it's crazy. Yeah. How many of you guys have been to a NAMM show? This guitar's awesome, by the way. He walked back each night and it was 20 minutes. I didn't know you walked back. That's crazy. 109, 15 minutes away. Yeah. Yep. Nice. Worth the parking money. Sean didn't want to snuggle with Derek at the Airbnb. Sean and I have shared Airbnbs a couple of times, and Sean is a very light sleeper, and I snore like a bastard.
Yes.
Like, badly.
You
so
do.
Yep.
I do not fault Sean one bit for not wanting to stay. And NAMM, it's particularly different because, like, there's 8 or 9 guys. So, yeah. So, Scott's been to a few. Yeah, Scott, why don't you come in here and talk about this? You're here.
Yeah, get over here.
Matt, thanks for checking
Yeah,
out the
microphone
Sweetwater
right here.
video. Appreciate that, buddy. Those are fun to do.
Drive back and forth from Burbank every day. That's not, yeah. That's a bit of a trek, but that's, I was talking with one of my buddies that lives there. He lives in Hollywood, I think. It's all LA to me. I'm sorry if you're from that area, but
I mean, it is LA County, but
yeah. So grab a chair. Scotty's here, so
do we have a microphone?
You can use this one.
Sure.
yeah, you could hang by Luke. And
Yeah.
I would love to hear Scott's perspective on this too, because Scott comes with us every year, and
Have you guys? Scott has never been on a live stream ever.
yeah, come over here. Can that thing reach?
Yeah, maybe.
Just come over here and I can just give him my mic. That's fine.
That's fine. No, that'll work.
give him another
Nashville
one. I'll
Summer
just have
NAMM
to
is
set it
gone,
up.
so you're not going to make it to the Nashville
Oh,
one. No matter
yeah,
what, anyway.
Mike Nashville's done, but
Yeah.
either way, we do stuff in Nashville fairly frequently, so yeah, a little bit there, Scott.
Here, we can just split a little bit.
Yeah, I'll split her. Yeah. Derek's brother Scott here. Scott is here, and he comes every year and is our caretaker for most
He's the
of the
NAMM
time. Yeah.
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 I had seen somebody. Yeah.
Brian, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's great.
We spent a lot of time planning out how the booth was going to work this year, because we've done like different iterations over the years, and like this, we all agreed that this was without a doubt the best. Did you just spill your PBR all over?
No, I knocked it with it over. I knocked it with
I love the fact that your ass is what's going to be on camera right now. Everybody say hi to Scott's ass. So Yeah, this was, we kind of all agreed that this was the best kind of iteration of our booth.
Yeah.
It had like the best flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was the Highwind Torrent the amp? Because I really liked the amp that I tried. Jordan brought me over to the booth to try it, and it was awesome.
Sorry, I shouldn't play while you're
It was like a Marshall without all of the crappiness.
Yeah.
This is Scott.
Yeah, everybody say hi to Scott.
This is Derek's brother Scott, who is also technically one of the owners of Rep,
Yes.
which is true, but also takes care of us at NAMM and makes sure we eat food and don't die.
Yeah, sandwiches. That's my job. NAMM Mom. I should have my badge with me.
It's probably in.
It says NAMM, Mom.
It's in here. Or did you bring it home? I think yours was in the truck. It's probably in my truck still.
I think it broke when we were like loading out. So
Yeah, yeah.
Probably ended up in the back of the truck.
So,
It is on.
Okay.
Does it need to go up?
can you hear him?
I can't bring
I can hear it. I can hear it.
Do you need me to like eat it?
Yeah,
No, that's good. That's good.
Oh,
yeah.
like this.
Oh yeah, get
Yeah,
right,
there you
right in
go.
there.
There we go.
58 is the king of mics that doesn't mic.
Pick up anything from
Yeah.
anywhere.
So, you've been to every NAMM show that we've been to in Anaheim except for one.
Yeah.
There's one year you abandoned us.
Yeah, I decided to take the family to Arizona instead.
That's bullshit.
And
You were that close.
And then the world ground to a halt. So
Yeah, fair.
I don't know if that's my fault, but yeah, I missed.
You went to Arizona.
I missed 2019.
Yeah, yeah. You were there for 2020's one.
Was I?
Was I there for that one?
Was there
I
a
don't remember.
2020?
I don't know when you went to Arizona.
It was
the shows blur together to
2019,
me except
Yeah.
for the really
And then
early
everything
one.
shut down.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
missed the last one before they kind of were like, nope,
So
we're not
you
doing
missed
it.
2020 when we launched the G20.
Perhaps.
Yo, you must. Yeah, that
Yeah,
makes
that's
sense
what it was.
because you didn't know Travis. And that was when we started talking to Travis.
10-4.
And you didn't meet Travis until he came here.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I had met Sean and then forgot that I had met Sean.
Yo, you big time, Sean.
And then I big time him at our Christmas party.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, that was embarrassing.
People love it when you do that. Did you know that?
What's that? When I big time Sean?
Yeah, and no.
Or
when
big
you
time anybody?
Everybody
It's-
loves that.
It's just because I'm ignorant. It's not the. It's not. Is the
because I
picture of
forget
Joey
this.
and Scott side by side still on Facebook? Yeah, it is somewhere where we're mixed together. It's Paul Yee, I think, was the one who posted it. So
Yeah.
if you search for Paul, you'll find.
You'll find it.
Yeah, we
So-
do look similar.
So, from your perspective, how was this show compared to the previous shows?
Yeah, I feel like this was probably the first show I feel like we didn't actually have to drum up any like business. We weren't running around handing out hats. We weren't like some of those things that we've done in the past where we were like trying to find people. People were coming to
Actively
us.
trying to like,
Smash
hey,
the
here's
like
the thing, come in. Yes, smash it.
Smash that
I
like
know what
button.
you mean there, because and then like the giveaways and the stuff like that is like just essentially free visual promo around
yeah.
the whole show, which is great. Because like I also have people coming over and they're like, yeah, everybody's wearing your stuff. What do you guys do? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like people don't even know what we're doing, and they just see that and they're like, I want to go check out what these guys are doing, which is great. And this year we took a different approach, and everyone just, as you were saying, kind of came and we're like, hey, what's free this year?
Yeah, exactly.
you know?
Were you guys
It's like,
doing hats?
Like,
What
hey,
are
you
you
guys got
doing?
the
What's-
shirts again? We're all, oh, hey, got the shirts. We're like, no, we got hats this year. But like either way, you know, people are like
Yeah.
coming and coming to hang out. Like, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, we actively, like, well, I made a decision this year about it that I was like, I don't think we need to do that to get people to come to our booth. I actually think that, sadly, we're the largest amp booth that's going to be at NAMM this year. So what else are you going to do? Like, if you
Yeah.
want to check out amps, there's us and there's Bad Cat and Two Rock.
And Backhat was right by us.
And Bad Cat
Yeah.
was right beside us.
Yeah.
And Driftwood. And sorry if I missed other people because I don't even know.
But there's
it was all there,
like,
but it was nothing
yeah,
compared to
none of like the household
amp-wise.
brands.
Right.
Yeah, like High Wind was with like Arachnid cabinets. Yeah, like
And even then, it was like that was the proto that Jordan built. It wasn't
Yeah.
like they were like launching amps, and it was great. But
Yep.
but you know what I mean. It wasn't like there was other. Oh, was Boutique there? With like Friedman and stuff
Oh,
like that?
yeah, yeah, Boutique had a small booth.
Boutique would have been there. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, there's no Marshalls, there's no PBs,
There's no Orange, there's
Mesas,
no-
yeah,
none of
any of
those.
that stuff.
your dad's talking to you.
To me?
Just there,
Yeah.
or just here for a minute.
Oh yeah, he stopped by earlier today.
Oh, really?
Oh, sweet. We missed him.
Before I was here.
Yeah, yeah. He I was driving in, and he was out with CJ, my sibling,
Nice.
and they're like, "Yeah, we're driving back from New Bothwell. We're driving by the shop for you around." I was like, "Oh, I'll be there in 5 minutes." So me and
Nice.
CJ got to see the shop.
Nice.
Yeah, it was great.
Victory was there. Yep. Bad Cat makes great stuff. Peter's a good dude too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Victory was there, but also like smaller. It seemed like a lot of people had smaller stuff, and then guys that we often hang out with, like Walrus, wasn't there. Like, there's a few of the like,
They were wandering around, but they didn't have a booth.
yeah,
Paul, you're giving away a free amp, and they want a hat. Yeah. That's how it goes.
Oh man, well the reason that we just didn't give them away to everybody, we made you show that you were subscribed to our YouTube channel this year because in the past you'd have people walk up and be like, "Can I have a hat?" And I'm like, "Do you play guitar?" "No." Be like, "Can I get 2 for my daughter, 1 for my son? My wife likes hats too." And like literally, like a dude would take like 6 hats, and I'm like, "There's zero purpose to you having this."
Yeah.
And I don't know why you want it, because
Totally.
like I don't want stuff from companies that I don't give a rat's ass about.
What was funny to me too is like people come up and they're like, "Oh, the hat's free." I'm like, "Yeah, you just gotta subscribe to our YouTube," and they're like, "No." I was like,
Just
"All right, man,
unsubscribe
cool.
10
You can
seconds
literally
later, like,
unsubscribe after. I don't care.
show
Like,
me and then unsubscribe.
Thank you for not
Yeah.
wasting our hat. It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, so
Yeah, like the booth was busy. Like, I wasn't there all day, every day, but every time I was there, the booth was busy. Like, there was
Yeah.
very little time where, in the past, you know, there's a couple of us standing around just talking to each other, kind of waiting for traffic to come our way.
yeah,
And
you
there
get
was,
waves
yeah,
normally.
but
Yeah.
this one was like
was the whole time,
amps.
dude.
Like, I had guys
Yeah.
saying like, "Hey, where can I check out the G50?" And I'm like, "You just gotta wait till that guy, and then that guy's done with it."
I will
Like,
say the layout was good this year because we were able to like anyone who was there was within. It wasn't like we had the full circle around. It was like you were in one of 2 areas. We could actually see who was looking to try some stuff, kind of control it a little bit. It was, it was
Yeah, you
nice.
didn't
Yeah.
have to like stand
Yeah.
in an aisle. Like last year, we had like 3 out of 4 sides of the soundproof room, and the last side was Aristides. But the 3 sides we had amps on every side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to like we would say like, "Okay, Luke, you stay on this side.
Yeah,
Sam, you
like
stay on
me and
this
Dan
side."
stayed on the Pro
Yeah.
Series, and Sean
Sean-
stayed with
yeah,
the,
Sean
on the
and you
Dynamis.
guys didn't see
like
each
you
other
guys were
'cause you were on
generator
opposite
side.
sides.
Sean was
Yeah.
Dynamis side.
And this time it was like, "Hey, you want to try this? Cool."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's everything in one area.
Yeah, and if
Yeah.
you want to
Now fight.
Yeah, fight. And if you want to really fight, we can fight for a sound room spot.
Hey,
when
how
Derek
does
doesn't have
NAMM
a meeting.
sound?
Oh yeah. Can we get some
Ready?
cymbal
This
crashes?
is a good one.
Can we get some cymbal crashes in the background of just like drums being tested just about 10 rows
Also
over?
that.
That's what NAMM sounds like.
That's what NAMM sounds like if you've
Yeah.
never been there.
It's either just, or it's. But notice how I'm not hitting the notes in the middle.
Yeah.
It's the Guitar Center sweep of doom. It's it's this note, a bunch of dead notes, and then this note.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
Nuno actually muting that. You just suck the guitar.
No. It's the Guitar Center sweep of doom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm sorry. Sweep picking is hard, and I commend you for practicing.
Yes.
I don't
Maybe don't
sweep
use our.
pick. I would
booth
sound
practice.
worse than that if I tried. And I would be matched to several people on the NAMM floor.
I feel like we also didn't have any
I'm making sure I can still do it now.
we didn't have any volume police come around this.
What's that?
We didn't have any of the volume
No,
police this year.
so-
And shout out to Aristides. They're always the like best booth guys to hang out
Yeah.
and share a booth with. Great
Yeah,
dudes.
I call them. I was talking earlier on the stream about the fact that like we're an island booth, so like they were trying to ding us for power, and I'm like, yeah, like Aristides are like our desert island friends. Because
Yeah.
we're by ourselves on an island.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're island boys.
Guys, you guys can all sweep. It's okay.
Damn, NAMM mom's sweeping. Well,
Yes.
No, you
oh,
don't-
did NAMM mom?
Scott vacuumed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to hear me play guitar ever. Yeah.
Did you end up getting a guitar?
I
NAMM?
did get a guitar at
What did you
NAMM.
get?
I got one of the Reverend.
I don't know.
Man, now I'm
Reverend
going to
guitar?
remember which one. It's the double agent W with the Wilkinson bridge.
Is that the Billy Corgan Siggy?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Oh.
It's got a P90 in the neck and then a humbucker in the bridge.
Jeremy Baker, can you repeat the last part or repeat the part about the things? Yep.
You wanna go back to
just
the beginning?
Scroll back.
Yeah, we'll
you'll hear 'em
refresh
all.
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have just got it last night, so I was noodling around with it this afternoon a little bit, and it's beautiful. It's the 2024 model, so it's in outfield ivy, so it's like kind of a British racing green with a gold pick guard, and yeah, it's real pretty.
I like rubber guitars a lot. Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, Ken's a good dude.
He's a real good dude.
I don't know how many you've tried, but that bass contour circuit that they put in them is awesome.
Yeah.
It's really, really nice.
I don't know what that is.
It's essentially like a tone control that adds more bass without sucking top end. It's nice.
Adds more tone with
without taking out the part that you want.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you like
Turn
it.
down the suck.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes the P90 like really bark.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. It.
Is Luke gonna play it on Sunday?
No.
No.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he got a new one. Luke's got a new one that he's also
Yeah.
excited about.
Luke got the.
You guys all got new guitars, yeah?
Yeah, got the Schecter Nick Johnson.
Mine isn't here yet.
No, Sam's is. Sam's will be a little while yet. But,
Yeah.
Manny's a big Reverend guy as well. He's had a. What's Manny's, Luke?
Club Casino.
No, Club King.
Club King.
Club King is what he's got, and he loves his
Club Regent Casino.
Club Regent Casino.
Yeah.
He's playing that Iconic right now mostly too, isn't
Yeah.
he? That's a whole other thing, the whole Iconic thing. That happened a little bit.
Yeah.
down there.
Yeah.
We're not gonna talk about any of that.
We're not talking about that. We don't talk about Bruno.
Yeah, I don't. I get myself in trouble. So
He knows too much.
no, just no.
Yes.
You know what?
Yes, I was.
Yes, Luke
just say
definitely
this.
was digging the baritone. It actually sounded pretty amazing going through the 120.
The baritone? Or
The
the,
bar-
Reverend
the
baritone?
Reverend baritone?
Yeah.
They lent
Yeah.
us one for the show. It was pretty sweet.
Any new pedal or amp acquisitions? Yeah, I bought a shitbox amplifier. Yeah, you guys want to see it? I can't plug it in right now, but
Hold that or you're good.
I picked up this sweet machine in Fargo, North Dakota. Shout out to Flatland Guitar and Lutherie. Badass shop in Fargo.
Dan says if... never mind. We'll discuss this after. This is a whole other discussion.
What's that?
It says if a fruit could play guitar, which fruit would be metal? Would be the most metal?
Pineapple.
Oh,
It's
that's
spiky.
Dragon fruit.
Dragon fruit or pineapple?
I bought this.
What'd it do?
It's a Silvertone.
Oh, yeah.
It's a piece of shit amp. It's a shitbox amp. I bought it for $100. Because, well, to be honest.
That's the 1464, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sear Silvertone. They can sound decent. When
Tom
they're-
Bukovac said everybody needs a shitbox amp. And then I saw this, and it was $200. And then the guy was like, make me an offer. And I'm like, I don't do that. He's like, give me $100. I'm like, I do that. So I have that. So, yeah. So I got that one.
Now you can learn to play Jack White riffs. all
I
day
already know
long,
how to
too, with
play them.
that.
If you have a third of a brain, you can play a Jack White riff. 2 fingers. Yeah. What's the other one that you play?
Silvertone.
What's the one that you play all the time?
A, play A. And then G.
Dry leaves in the dirty ground.
It's
Dry leaves.
It sounds too good when I do that though, because Jack White's
You need to
tone
mess
shit.
it up. You need to get like
Yeah.
a big
Yeah, I
fuzz.
need to have,
Where's
like-
your B? Yeah, where's that one?
Oh yeah, I guess I could do that. Oh,
Oh, what's it gonna do?
That's really bad.
it does.
I don't have in ears in, so all I hear
Oh, yeah.
is just twang.
Yeah.
So.
Nice. Yeah. So, the what else did we get? I got that amp.
The phone pedal and the
I got the
mushrooms.
phone, yeah, that you can't see because Scott's blocking it.
You
but,
got another phone pedal?
back here.
Yes, and this one's cool.
This is a new one. So this is a tape delay with 4
it sounds
tape
good.
heads. We don't have it all hooked up. I also got this Kernome, the
Oh, yeah.
Moho. I don't know if it's like Mofo, but Moho. So it's the other Kernome pedal, like the yellowy, orangey one. I want that one. Oh, look at that, hey.
Then I'll be here.
So now you can, yeah. So, yeah, so I got that from the wonderful people over at Kernome, or Kernome, whatever you say. They
They were super nice dudes.
they're
man.
they're awesome.
I kept seeing them at the booth, and they were always so nice.
Them, the
Yeah.
dudes from Crazy Tube Circuits, like, I also picked up some fun pedals to mess with on the, like,
The
I
next
picked
few
them up
streams, yeah.
while we were down there. I picked up Harvey, which is one of my favorite like weird companies. I picked this up at Angel City Music in like they're near Calabasas or Tarzana or I don't know, or Tarzana. I don't
nice
know what you
area
call-
of California.
Like yeah, So this is the same guys that do the
Centauri.
Centauri, which we have up over
Yeah.
there, which is my favorite clone.
Yeah.
This is a Nobles clone, so I haven't tried it yet because honestly I got home and have a buttload of stuff to do. Yeah, the next pedal that I got.
Oh. This
Yeah.
is Purple Nurple.
The only reason I bought it, I have no idea what it
Is
does.
it called the Purple Nurple?
It's called the
Yeah.
Purple Nurple, and that's the
Over
only
there.
reason I bought it. 'Cause I was like, I'm
just
not
wanna
gonna
see the
not buy that
graphics now.
pedal.
Yeah.
Oh
man.
Did any of us check out the X Pandora booth? I didn't, but I did see them at the Brooklyn Stompbox exhibit. Those are cool dudes, and
Yeah.
that's a cool pedal.
Nerp.
So yeah, the Purple Nurple. It's got like Ren and Stimpy font on it.
I was just gonna say that's Ren and Stimpy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Here, let me peel the price tag off so you can see it.
You gave me this Flipside hat.
Yes, I did. Because
So, shout
Flipside
out
gave
to
me a
Denver.
hat, and then I had Ike.
Shout out to Denver.
Yeah. And then not Clone. Yeah, from BMF. I don't know if this is good. It's a drive pedal of some sort. Yeah.
This box too?
Oh, yeah, but that one you got to wait a second.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Yeah,
It's already got dual lock on it. It's worth more now because it's ready for it's pedalboard ready. So, you know, it's awesome. It wasn't at NAMM, but I picked up this sweet guitar on the way home from NAMM, which was pretty badass. John Mark Designs. This is a Scott guitar. It's his. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I seem to remember when I started talking Jazz Masters, you were like, offsets are gross.
Yeah, they still kind of are, dude.
But you seem to enjoy playing some offsets, so.
Yes. Nauticlon. My Nauticlon's at the at our customs broker right now, and I'm gonna pick it up either tomorrow or Friday, and I'm gonna build that on the stream soon. I don't know when, but soon we'll build that all together. Yeah.
It'll be like craft time.
I also got this.
TJ, the neck on that thing
This-
feels amazing.
Yeah, this sweet machine, which our good buddy TJ Silger, who might be lurking in the comments, might have already buggered off for the night. TJ essentially refinished the neck. I don't even know if he finished it. It feels completely raw. It feels unbelievable. This is my 87 American Standard.
It's better
Strat.
than the one that I have.
Is
Like
it?
the one that you had done before.
Well, this has stainless steel frets in it, which is... Oh, there he is. He's
Yeah.
hiding. Lurking. Also,
Bearer of the Les Paul traditional.
listen, yes. Also, the guy who has my guitar that I thought somebody might have stolen from the shop.
He may have accused everyone on staff of.
I didn't accuse everyone on staff. I told everyone
Which
on
one of you bastards?
I did ask like 4 people that I thought might have borrowed it.
And
I'm like, do you have my Les Paul?
I like we were talking about it, and Carl's like, "What about TJ?" And we're like, "TJ
I'm
actually
like,
has
TJ.
it."
I'm like, yeah, maybe.
I like how Carl, who is barely ever here, was the one who's like, "Yeah, TJ took it." And we're like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah. So I may have told everybody on staff today, no one is ever borrowing anything from me or from the shop ever again. It's over because in my defense,
You have a
I
lot
did-
of gear, man. I get
well,
it.
and I did say somebody, like I lent it to somebody. I'm like, somebody took it.
Yeah.
And I thought it might have been Paul Yee, but it wasn't him. And like I asked a couple of questions and I was like, no one knows? I'm like, shit, we need to write things down.
And in my brain, I
And-
was like, I remember you giving it to someone, but I don't know if you sold it or whatever.
Well,
And
everybody-
then- it's like,
Luke was like, I'm pretty sure you sold it. I'm like, I didn't sell it. I know I didn't sell it. I'm pretty sure you sold it. Yeah, I think it's gone. I'm like, no, I didn't. I'm like, it is not here.
He's not wrong.
But in my defense, my Friedman wah pedal, my Line 6 DL4 pedal,
Those things are gone.
my Wampler Tumnus, my Wampler Tumnus Deluxe, all magically grew legs between this building and our other building at some point. So I'm not
Yep.
accusing anybody of theft.
They're just not here anymore.
It is more likely that somebody was here and was like, oh, I'd love to try that. And I'm like, yeah, sure, man, take it. Try it. And then,
Forgot.
like I have a Paul Reed Smith, speaking of Carl, I have a Paul Reed Smith single cut SE. No, the single cut SE, the red one that used to be the shop guitar.
Yeah.
That Carl asked to borrow one time. Then he had it for at least 2 years. Till I was like, where's that Paul Reed Smith? And then I was like, Carl, do you have that guitar? He's like, yeah, man. I'm like, do you play it? No. I'm like, bring it back. So, yeah, so TJ just said, I don't have any of those things that you just mentioned. All right, but what TJ does have, amazing skills.
Yeah.
TJ,
Oh,
correct me if
man.
I'm wrong, but you did stainless frets because you said you hate doing stainless frets. Stainless frets, refretted this with like jumbo frets or medium jumbo or whatever.
Yeah.
Refin the neck. TJ, correct me if it's oiled or if it's just raw. It actually feels like an Ernie Ball neck right now. It feels like there is nothing on it. But most importantly, the coolest thing about this, besides the fact that the necks is the most important thing, because the necks are the most important thing, is this pick guard. This is all pickups that TJ made himself, and he built this pick guard for me and swapped it out with his own pickups. And I don't know about you guys, but like,
Sounds great.
that humbucker sounds awesome.
It's
And-
like it's fat for a Strat. Like, yeah.
If you guys want pickups, TJ Prairie Guitars, that's it. Stainless steel, extra large, jumbo. Sounded down raw like an Ernie Ball. Reshaped the neck.
and re-radiused it to 12.
Yeah.
Wow, bud. Tried to match the pickups to something that would be close to the NJ Strat. Dude,
See? Anything you need done,
get TJ. to do
TJ
it.
is the man. I tell you
Yeah.
that right before he moves to Nashville. So if you were in Nashville, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Sean Tubbs. That
Oh no,
TJ
TJ is
TJ
going to be the guy
Yep.
in Nashville in this year, 100%. There's no question in my mind. No
And
question
just
in my
a
mind.
great dude.
Oh yeah, the bestest of dudes. Guitar Tech to the stars.
Yeah. Those friggin' big shoes to fill, man. Steve
Right?
subbing for TJ, yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'm sorry I missed you. You were just in town with
Yeah. City in color. Yeah.
Yeah, I missed you, and I wasn't sure if you were trying to keep it a secret that you gave my guitar to Luke, but my daughter definitely told me the second I got home. She's like, yeah, Luke has your guitar. I'm like, which one?
I was keeping a secret
Yeah.
for you.
So she's like, I don't know, one your friend had. I'm like, ha, he has my NJ. Or is he, I said my my gunmetal blue Strat. I'm like, yeah, okay, TJ brought it. So yeah. Schecter guitars going back in the case?
No.
No, but this will be out a hell of a lot more now
Yeah.
than it was.
It sounds different, man. Well, pickups,
it's-
but like it's like a different guitar.
and still my favorite Strat color.
Yeah, I might
Gunmetal blue.
trade you back for the other one.
What?
Well, the other one I put dings in it because it was mine.
Take the deal.
And then I'll get TJ to.
What defines gunmetal to you? Is it just kind of like that sparkle?
No, it's a color.
No, it's
But there's gunmetal
like
gray. There's gunmetal
steely
blue.
gray.
It's like steely blue.
Yeah. It's
This one. I bet if we put it side by side against yours, though, this is more green than the other one is.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, and is it more green?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's got a little more silver, but it's not. There's also ones that are like green.
just clicked to me that I'm the only non-family member here.
No, you're my
Wait,
son.
I was gonna say
Yeah, we went to Chick-fil-A together.
you're my
I
nephew,
got
aren't you?
so many comments afterwards. Like,
Did anyone see that post? So Derek and I were eating Chick-fil-A, and Derek just took this stupid picture of both of us because we're just like both just shot from driving. He's like, I forgot what your caption was.
I said
something
the time
stupid.
goes by so fast.
Something
Like,
they
cherish
grow up
these
so fast,
moments.
or like something like that.
Treasure
and I remember,
these moments.
And one of the music back guys at NAMM actually thought I was your kid. Dude, and he was talking. You thought he was talking about Luke, and he's like, "No, your son." I was like, "No."
Oh, dude, the amount of people when I went to my meetings after NAMM, they were like, "Well, and you had your son with you at the show, right?" I'm like, "Well, he came for like Max came
And
for
Derek's son
an
is
hour."
like 3 years old.
Yeah.
So
And I'm
it's
like, he came for like an hour, and he's like, "No, I saw him there like a lot," and I was like, "Wait," I'm like, "Do you think Sam's my son?" The best was that happened more than once in my meetings, and one of the time they thought you were my son. The other time they thought you were my son. Like
Well,
Luke was.
I just thought people, because
Yeah.
people assume that in general, like on the stream, they just thought Luke was your kid. So I just, when they were saying that, I assumed that that's what they were talking about. And then after it clicked that they were talking about Derek's Facebook post. It's like,
That sounds so fat. Thank you, TJ. Yeah.
Yeah, Jeremy, go see City
Can
and
TJ
Color.
fix the Henning guitar?
no one
No
can
one-
fix the Henning
wow.
guitar.
Let's
TJ
just
would
say,
be the guy to do it, but
let's just say that the cost that would be involved with me having TJ fix the Henning guitar would never, ever be worth it.
Boomer said my dad's cooler.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 100%
wrong.
true. No offense taken. Bruce is the man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Plot twist, Luke is everyone's father.
He's Benjamin Button.
It's that time, man, I watched, I forget what it was called. I'll have to look it up. I watched this show on Prime recently, and it was like a newer show. It was like this murder mystery kind of thing, but there's like 4 different timelines of like the same crime happening, like hundreds of years apart or whatever, and at the end of it, it turns out that the guy actually is like his own father and like all this weird stuff. I forget what the show was called, but it was cool.
Well, that
Kind
sounds cool.
of reminded me of that.
smash that like button for us. I haven't said it in a while. Also, the things that I don't tell you guys about, the housekeeping things. Follow us on all the social medias. Ring that bell. Join the Revivification community on the old Facebox. I don't know what else to tell you. Join our mailing list. We'll send you an email once when we launch a product, and then maybe once again when we're about to go live. Maybe.
Depends.
Hit and miss. Otherwise, it's about the safest mailing list to be on.
We will not sell your
Yeah.
information. I'll tell you that much.
No.
but, yeah.
We just pay to store your information repeatedly and do nothing with it.
Yeah.
This is me taking pot shots at our team, who I'm in charge of, to make sure. And give zero guidance to about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. We're learning. We're a young company still.
Oh, dude, yeah. The X Pandora stuff. I have one of the original pedals. I don't know where it is. I think it's in my office.
What do they like? They make pedals, but like I've heard the name, but I don't know. Like, do they make a specific thing?
Oh yeah, it's the X Pandora pedal.
That is
It's
okay.
that puck, the silver puck that it's like.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
like ZZ
yeah.
Top and a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
The only X Panda I know is
Jeremy Cole.
Oh yeah, that's. Let's talk about NAMM, like institutions.
Oh,
Oh, sorry. One other thing that I got on the road for NAMM. Luke, you want to get me another PBR there, bud? Yep. Your dad needs one too.
Grab the man a Peeber.
Oh, bud. So, I also picked up this sweet MXR carbon copy because I owe Sam one.
Oh.
So,
I was gonna ask if you want to trade this for one of those mini Waz.
do you want the
Nice.
mini wah?
I see it. Oh wow, nice.
Oh, you can just have one of those mini wahs.
it's
They
yours
suck.
is all in pieces,
Nice.
right?
Mine
Yours is gutted.
mine is I donated it to
Science.
science.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I broke it, is what ended up happening.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, NAMM institutions. You were talking about like it's like
Oh,
Guitar
yeah.
Player Summer Camp.
Yeah, the Grumpy Panda.
Yeah.
We cannot. There is no NAMM without the panda.
No.
Or the Frenchman.
Honestly, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no NAMM without the panda.
And
Can we start
Kyle
calling them the
showed up?
NAMDA?
Namda.
Kyle,
Panda?
like just out of nowhere.
Yeah, Kyle Karich just wandered up to the booth and gave me a big
No.
hug. Oh yeah.
Oh, now he busted his.
You're
brand
doing
new
great.
pedal.
It's fine. Nothing, bro.
But what do you mean there's no PBRs? You drank them all?
There wasn't that many. I only got a 15.
There's.
I don't want
there's-
that.
No, there's one on the shelf there. That's
Well, it's probably warm.
no.
You just got it?
I brought one in here
Why?
earlier.
I'll drink the Modelo. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. What's that? Oh no, I don't want whatever that is.
No, that's
you
mine.
can have that.
You want this?
Oh yeah. No, you drink that.
I don't want this.
No, I don't like that. It's Bemidji Brewing Company from North Dakota, and
Bemidji, North Dakota.
I didn't like it. That one, like that specific beer. I don't know.
That one's pretty bold. Yeah.
That's what I thought you would.
Yeah.
Little
Modelo.
bummed that Chad wasn't able to be there.
Very bummed. Yeah, you missed. We talked about that for 10 seconds, but yeah.
Trying to think of who else, like, look forward to seeing that.
Oh, I mean, I see so many people. It'd be probably different for you because you, like, you see more people that you're friends with. I see more people that I do business with and that I talk to on a regular basis.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Peter Aarons and like, there you go.
Twin
That's
Tracker.
real nice.
Sorry.
Sam is playing through the brand new G50 tonight.
I just interjected while you were talking, so I was just like, oh, it's just a nice sound.
We would be remiss to not try to sell you one of our brand new amplifiers that is
Going like
light-
hotcakes.
Yeah, lighting the world on fire. Thank you guys. The response to the G50 has been honestly unbelievable.
It's been the best response to an amp we've got.
Well, no, but the G20 was the best response to an amp we've ever got.
Really?
Yes.
I guess so. In terms of
Yes.
actual, well, numbers don't lie.
Yes.
But like I feel like there was so many people with the G50 where they're like, this is what I've been waiting for.
Yes.
From you guys, you know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So thank you guys if you guys have one on order. We are shipping them as fast as we can, and we got more transformers ordered, and the next batch of them was scheduled to arrive next week, and they actually got to ship them like at least 2 days early. So hopefully we're gonna see them. We were hoping today, but probably tomorrow.
I feel like I've heard a lot of people say that we under-promised and over-delivered
Yeah.
with what's all in this tiny little.
Well, it's like literally the same features as the big amp.
Right.
Like it's got the direct two notes out. I mean, aside from literally just the fourth channel, but like the whole revoice and like the revision B of the 120. Like when Dan brought us this, we were just like, this is different. Like this is not the same voice. And I think it was because he was like trying to get some aspects of the red channel sound into this because it was going to be smaller and like we knew we wanted it to be purple because that was the sound that we most kind of identified with.
No, I'll tell the truth. It's okay. It's probably the sound you most identified with. But when I started talking to Dan about doing it, it was the sheer fact that I had been repeatedly asked for like since the 740 came out for the 740p, and I said, okay, we need to make a like 40 or 50 watt version of the purple channel because that's the thing that gets requested the absolute most over everything. So it wasn't.
I guess that's what I meant by that is that's what people know us for most.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a better way of phrasing that.
But to me, I would still and normally still prefer red channel over purple channel on, like, especially the new red channel, because I feel like the new red channel is like a blend between the two.
I didn't really use it before, and the new one I do. Yeah.
That being said, I'm on the purple channel tonight, so I'm full of shit. So anyway, but it was because all you guys requested it is the biggest reason that I said to Dan, like, hey, I think this is what we should do. And then, I mean, it is true that most of you guys identify or bond better with the purple channel because you're all into the D-gents.
D-gens from Upcountry?
D-gents from Upcountry.
I don't know. It's just a very modern voice. Like it's still aggressive and it has a lot of attack, but it's very clear. And like for the lower tuning stuff, it's just so tight. Like I think it just works for a lot of things.
Yeah, Flux is actually asking if we can hear a little bit of the purple with the 7 string.
Well, he said with Derek's new guitar.
Oh.
Flux, what do you mean? What do you mean by the purple new guitar? Oh, 7 string through the purple. Okay.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks for hanging out, man. See you next week.
Thanks, dude. Sorry, I'll turn off all the crap.
This one's fancy because it's gold. Sam's. Jimmy D says, you guys have a good buzz on? Not at all. I've had 1 beer and 1 sip of my new one. We're just that stupid.
This is just who we are as
Yeah,
people.
yeah. Sorry, buds.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like the new purple voice is just. I mean, the purple always was just really tight, but like it's just so percussive and so there.
Like crisp. Like
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. That's what I like a lot. Like when you play like a big chord, it's like here's a 7-note chord with a low A flat, and you can hear every note.
Yeah.
You know. What's that? Is that Paramore?
No, it's like yellow card.
Oh,
Ocean Avenue?
sorry, Ocean Avenue. So oh man, I don't know why my brain said Misery Business, but I was hearing Yellow Card there. Yeah. You know what's crazy to me is Hunter, who is Hardy's tech,
Yeah, I know.
wrote Misery Business. What?
Yeah.
Like Hardy's guitar tech, Hunter.
Yeah.
He was the guitar player in Paramore, like when they started.
And he's good friends with Noah.
Nice.
And it was so crazy because I was like, you told me about that, and I was like, Hunter. And then one of the Morgan guys was like, yeah, he used to be in Paramore. And I looked him up, and it's like, you're the guy.
Yeah.
It's like, you
Well,
know?
somebody told me that, and then I met him, and I was like, nah, no way.
Yeah.
And because right away he starts talking to me about Noah Henson and about like
Yeah.
big riffs, and I'm like, cool.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And like,
and then it was
if
so
you
funny
guys
because
don't-
it was funny because I came back because Morgan
Yeah.
did that show with Hardy, and I'm like, oh, I met Hunter, and you're like, or I was like, yeah, it was the dude with the beard. You're like, no, like it was this Justin's tech. I'm like, yeah, like Hunter. He was like in Paramore. You're like, what? I'm like, show the
Yeah.
picture. I'm like, this guy. You're like, what?
And I was like,
It was like,
yes.
yeah.
Well, somebody told me, and I was like, nah, I heard that wrong. Like, there's no way. And then I met him, and I was like, what the, like afterwards, I was like, what? No. Oh.
It is him.
Yes.
But yeah, he's a
Super nice dude.
Super man. Hardy's
Those guys.
camp is like the most positive energy. Like we did I will say all the bands we played with and all the openers, like with Morgan, like Bailey Zimmerman was great, Ernest was great, Hardy's guys were great. But like the Hardy dudes when they came in, there was just an energy about the whole camp where you're like, these guys are just living it.
Okay,
Like,
can I
you
tell?
know, like
should I out myself for like the story about Hardy, about going to see them in Nashville?
And how you got on their bus?
No, I coulda though.
sure.
Okay, so
TJ says Hunter. Yeah, exactly. Hunter crushes, dude.
Flux, I'm plugged into my generator 120 behind me, and I'm currently running the timeline, and that is all on the purple channel. So it's
Sounds
just these, bud. That's all it is.
These
Can I say?
these
It's
fingies?
just these.
Sausage fingers.
Yeah, exactly. So we were in Nashville in October for the epic D40 launch where the rig failed as well because we have this history of doing things mobily and having them go very not great. So we apologize for our shit attempts at live streaming while on the road, and one day Manny will be with us so we can hopefully figure it out.
I think it did a flip side. It did last week.
I know. And you know what? We changed nothing, and then it worked this week. So I still maintain it's probably a restream issue that
agree.
they fix something in it.
Yeah.
And that's probably we were probably just doomed at Flipside and then doomed here
Yeah.
just because of them. So
Yeah.
you know, whatever.
Thanks for your
Restream
share.
is really great for other things and for the fact that we
I
can.
like the platform. It's
Yep.
great. Yeah.
It's cool. Anyway, so I asked whether or not I could go and do like a, I don't know if we released this, but like a, I can't call it a rig rundown because Premier Guitar has that trademarked, but like we went and checked out Justin Luce from Hardy's rig. Justin is a good friend of ours. He's playing Generator 120s on the road. Killer guitar player, rhythm guitar player in Hardy. Rhett is the lead guitar player, also killer dude, uses G8s and, you know, a couple of our pedals, I think.
Wellesley was doing it when I was there.
Yep. So, anyway, great dudes. And I go to do this interview, and the day that they were playing 3 shows back to back. I had just finished the D40 thing. I had been out on a crazy trip where I literally drove to Chicago, got to Chicago. I won't bore you with all the details, but it involved me driving till about 4 in the morning, then flying at 9 in the morning, then flying back, then driving to Sweetwater, then driving to Nashville, then coming home like 9-10 days later. So the night of the Hardy show, I was technically supposed to leave Nashville that night, and I was filming the interview thing that afternoon, and then I was like, okay, I'm probably not gonna stay for the show because I'm gonna go, right? I want to get home, and it's 20-some hours from Nashville to here. So anyway, our good buddy Matt Beavis, who is, I believe, tour manager, right, or production manager?
That's PM.
PM. Okay, so Matt's production manager for Hardy. We do the interview, and he's like, "Are you coming for the show?" And Justin asked me if I was coming, and I was like, I got to drive back tonight. I'll try. And Matt's like, "You should come for, just come for a couple of songs. Like, the show's really good." He's like, "It's really good. You should come." And like, I had listened to a bit of their stuff on Spotify. It's not really my thing, okay? And when I say I listen to a bit of their stuff, I mean I listened to the first 45 seconds of some songs, and I was like, you know what, not my thing. Because lots of, would you call it like, it's not trap beats, or what would you call like, a lot of their stuff is...
There's definitely an electronic presence.
Yeah.
Like Morgan's music's the same way. There's a lot, like Last Night is essentially a hip hop song.
Yeah.
With acoustic guitar, you know?
So,
like,
a buddy of mine had picked up a D25, and I was going to deliver it. So I'm like, well, let's go over to Jeff's. We'll deliver the samp, and we'll go hang out with Jeff for a little bit, and then you know, maybe we'll go back and catch a couple of songs, and then I'll head out.
yeah.
So we went to my buddy Jeff's, hung out there for a bit, drank a bit of whiskey, and I was like, man, we should go to this show and go catch 2 or 3 songs.
Yeah.
And that's it. So we get back to the arena. I walk in. We walk in like the back of the arena, right? And as soon as we're walking out from backstage where his tech was, like from where Hunter was. As soon as we walk in, there's pyro and flame bursts going. It sounds like Metallica. Hardy is screaming.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, I'm an asshole. I wish I was here for this entire show. I sat there with, I stood with, I found Tyler Tomlinson in like 1 minute, and Dorian and I both look at each other and we're like, what have we done?
Yeah. Dude,
Oh.
no, that's what I was saying.
It
It's
was-
like the one show, it was so funny because like we did a bunch of shows with all the other acts, and like usually for the Morgan set, like Matt Kennedy, who I'm hanging with.
Yeah, yeah.
Matt is like always at his bench, always working, always something is going on, and he comes up, he's like, yo, we're gonna go watch Hardy from front of house, and it's like right before our set, and I'm like, oh, okay, like you guys aren't, there's stuff to do. And then we go, and the first song kicks in, and I'm just like, okay. Like, this is like, this is sick. Like,
Change over, just
yeah.
got another 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's like, I understand now, this kicks ass. Like, everything about this is like a metal show, and it's a country show.
Yep.
Like Hardy literally comes out, and he is literally like metal screaming, and there's all these these girls are just like,
What's happening? Where's Taylor Swift?
what's going on? Yeah, it's like,
I think I walked in and they were playing,
Yeah.
they might have been playing Sold Out right when I walked in, or they were playing Jacked. And so anyway, I get back in my truck and Dorian's like, we got to listen to this shit, right? So yeah.
terrible, you won't hurt my feelings, go for it, roast me, let's have
Yeah.
it.
So anyway, we get back in the truck and I start listening to like Truck Bed, and then like Justin had kept telling me about how he was using this SG that he had for Truck Bed, and I was like, really? I'm like, it's so like clean, like that's weird. And then I listen, you know, and at about 2 minutes, all of a sudden you hear like brrr of a dive bomb, and it like kicks into this ridiculously heavy track.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this, yeah.
Andy Hardy, Michael Hardy is the guy's name. He's the artist, but he's like a country rock pop. I don't want to call him country. Like, he's primarily known as a country artist, but he rips. He's like a rock metal guy. Like, yeah, he's the whole package. He's a great songwriter, great dude.
Lots of songs about trucks and deer and like
Hey, man,
racks in the truck and guns. So just
Yeah.
like know what you're getting into. But yeah, it is that show. If you ever get a chance to see it, go see that show. It is, yeah. I feel like an asshole that I didn't go for the whole thing, and I will definitely fix that this year. So yeah.
Yeah.
I see lots of people talking about Summer NAMM there. We're way off topic, but I saw 60 Cycle Steve. What's up, Steve?
60 Cycle Steve, what up?
Ryan stole one of our amps, Steve. Did you guys see the video of Ryan stealing?
I was going to ask, there's a 60 Cycle Hum affiliation?
Yeah. He's the other part of it. It's him and
Or he does
like they have a podcast, like him and Ryan and Steve.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry, I'm late. Have you said whether you're going? There is no Summer NAMM in Nashville. That's why. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Icar
unfortunate.
can. What did Terrible say? He roasted me. Let's see. Or is it? My aunt says she wants her white socks back. Nice.
Nice.
There you go. Dude, these are my long athletic socks for working in the shop and getting my feet all sweaty. It was a moving gear day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing a bunch of.
The bottom comment.
I got exactly one boner at NAMM. Totally worth it. Did you get a tone boner? Who was it? Oh, man, do you remember who was the one that was talking about, like, you know, when we talk about like tone being in the hands? Somebody said, yeah, that guy's got good bone tone because it's in his bones. And I'm like, oh, man, the tone boner. Oh, Ian Thornley was the one that told me that. I showed Ian a picture of our wall when I was, I got to see Big Rec, like, not this past summer, but the summer before. And Ian had tried, like, a Generator 120 in the past and dug it. And it's when we were talking to Chris Cadell about using Generator 120s on the road with Big Rec. And I showed Ian a picture of the wall. He's like, oh, I'm getting a tone boner from that. He's like, screw this show that we're playing. Let's go to your place and mess with that stuff.
It's called a toner.
Yeah, a toner.
Getting a toner. Should make those t-shirts, getting a toner.
Strat should not do that.
It does.
Yeah, it does. See, that should do that.
It should.
Who's BMC 204? Oh, is that Brent McRae? Nice.
I was gonna say like
Your
BMC,
bagels.
Yeah.
BMC tacos on Osborne. BMC marked it. See you, Stan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Biggles.
The Biggles. All right, what other questions you guys have for us around NAMM? We haven't even bothered. I mean, I answered some questions as we went.
I mean, we talked about
Anything.
the Endeavor,
Yeah.
but
So at the end of the day, I'd say it costs us, you know, $60-some thousand, and I will do it again next year probably. Yeah. Although I will say this, and I hope somebody from NAMM is watching. The idea that you guys think that it is okay to charge us for 4 days of a convention and give us 3 is complete and utter bullshit. And there's zero chance any vendor should agree to come to the show if you're going to try to keep the floor price the same for only 3 days of the show as you are for 4. Because when our rep sent me that email, I sent him that message back saying, not a chance. I actually said it'll be a cold day in hell before Rev comes to the show and pays this type of rate for this. That is ripping off the people who are coming to support the show.
that happened last year, right?
That happened last year or the year before. I think it was the year before. I think it was the June show. Maybe it was last year too,
In
actually.
the April show, yeah, because it was only 3 days last year.
Yep.
Yep.
And now they're trying it for January next year. I'm actually a little bit like, I'm not as angry about if it's 3 days next year because my daughter's birthday is the day after the show, so I might be able to like take a red-eye flight home.
But they shouldn't charge the
But they
same.
shouldn't charge us for
Yeah.
that because that's
Yeah.
complete bullshit. My wife, yes. Yeah, I'm a little bit fired up about it. So, yeah, so you guys should all email NAMM on every vendor's behalf and just say, like, I hear you're charging $40 a square
The
foot
Rev
for 3
guys
days.
told me to email you and get mad.
Well, because it's not just that bill, right? It's
No,
the
it's
freight,
everything.
It's the
Yeah.
labor.
I don't want to
it's
pay
like-
$65,000 to get 3 days instead of 4. I already can't get done everything that I need or want to get done in 4 days normally. So now you make it 3 days, it's way harder. Not cool, NAMM, not cool.
I'm disappointed too, and that's much worse.
Yeah. You know what? I'm just really disappointed in you.
I'm
Yeah.
not mad.
Yeah, I know.
That was what my dad always gave me.
Really?
Never raised his voice to me once.
Really?
Never. Yeah, it was always just like.
Oh,
well,
that was not my house.
I feel
oh,
shame
no.
thinking
No,
about
he made. Oh, he
disappointing
made me
Jake.
feel terrible. Yeah, it was always like, well, it's disappointing you made that choice. It's like, okay, thanks.
So sorry.
Thanks, bud. Yeah.
Not cool, Nam. Don't speak to me or my son Sam.
That's comment of the day so far, Kevin.
Nice. Yeah. Shout out to Hoogie. Yeah, is Hoogie still? He was here earlier. I don't know if he's still here.
He's another one. Great to see it, NAMM.
Yep.
Get to see
Was
him
it
every
Luke's
once
first
in a while
NAMM?
between
Luke's second NAMM.
second.
Biggles wants to come one year. I told him you should come hang out.
Yeah, totally.
Hey, I heard
Okay.
there was somebody like fighting for my job that wanted to make the sandwiches.
I did that one year that you weren't there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think it was Adrian.
Oh yeah. Yeah. My brother-in-law said he would come make sandwiches. And to be fair, we'd probably get tacos every day. Step it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
Do better.
Do better.
Do better.
Dude, the NAMWich is a very specific taste.
Yeah. Also, you missed out on my pulled pork and the evening stuff because you were out for other dinners.
I know.
And yes, Luke is my boy. Not.
It yes. That is one thing that is like interesting about the like kind of evolution of the NAMM show for me, where in the early days we were always all back at the house together for dinner, and then normally Sam would leave because he had friends outside of Rev, but we all knew no one, so we stayed at the house together and hung out and made friends with like Glenn Fricker and Trey and Ryan Bruce, like Fluff and all the YouTubers. And Sam was like, "Cool, I'm going out to the show with these guys." And I'll be like, "What did you do last night?" "I was out with Tosin and Aaron and."
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at this apartment with Tim and what's Scott from Polyphia. Like,
And Dallas Bricker got
just-
hammered.
Oh man.
yeah.
You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
That was a legendary moment. I don't know
Yeah.
if Dallas realizes how legendary that was.
I don't know if he remembers coming back to the house.
No.
Oh,
Like,
no,
I
no,
woke
no,
up the
definitely
next
not.
day.
I just remember him like making me sit with him until he fell asleep because he thought he was gonna puke and choke on it and die.
So
He's literally like waiting, like I was like sitting there waiting for him to fall asleep so I could leave.
It was
Carl-
a legit concern.
Carl, yeah, we gave away hats and we had a couple of shirts that not many, but we had a couple of shirts that we did give away. What did you do? Okay, so like this year, like talking about like kind of the evolution of NAMM for me, like now we have like, or I have dinners with people.
Yeah.
From the minute I get to California,
You're-
every night that I'm in California,
Yeah, you're
we're
busier.
with either a distributor, a dealer, vendor, or
Yeah, we were
like
often
friends from-
trying to figure out what are we going to do on Thursday night because
Yes.
there's nothing going on. It's like, oh, let's go to a comedy show, and there's just no time for that now.
Oh yeah.
Which is good when you're spending 60 grand that you're
You're there to make your money's worth.
Yeah. not spending more.
Yeah, like we didn't have time during the show. Like normally, like either on load in, at some point we all like the whole Rev crew goes for dinner like at Roscoe's or Texas Day Brazil or something like that. And like this year during the show or like load in and during the show, there's just no chance. Where, you know, after the show that was a bit of a different story, but you know, that was a little different. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
So, like, what did you do during the evenings? Because I didn't even really talk to you about what you did in the evenings.
Yeah, I mean, you had dinners like every night.
Yep.
I hung out with, honestly, I hung out with my, sorry?
Post Malone.
Posty.
Easy, come on.
Hung out a lot with my Gia guys.
Oh, yeah.
Jacob was there, and
Yeah.
Christian, our singer, lives in LA.
Nice.
So he came out. I don't know if you met Joseph Anajar. He plays in that band Portraits. Joseph, I know you met him last year. He was a guy that I was talking about potentially getting to do some media for us because Joseph's awesome. But he rented an Airbnb where a bunch of like the YouTube guitar dudes would stay. So like him, Clayton King, Josh, Della, Jacob, a bunch of other people had like an Airbnb.
Cool.
So hung out there a few times. Went to the Silent Planet show. Met up with my buddy Jesse from Era.
Yeah.
He's like the main Era dude.
Yep.
I don't know. I definitely took it a bit easier. Like I mostly hung out with Jacob and Christian. Like we went for dinner a few times, and then we went to that show, and that was pretty much it.
I went
You
for
put
dinner
me on
with.
to. We sat and watched Jacob.
Jacob's a techie.
His techie one evening with the guys.
Yeah. That was the night we
Nerded out
stayed
on
in.
guitar.
Yeah.
I went for dinner with Sheldon Dingwall and
Yeah.
the guys from Musifax.
Yeah. Sheldon's awesome,
Yeah.
man. He's
Super
such a
good dude.
such a legend. Yeah. Such a nice dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Canadian.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only thing I did that wasn't just like hanging out with those dudes, like first night just went and hung out there with like Jacob and Aaron, those guys. Second night there was like an Airbnb party, and then it got shut down because Joseph didn't realize that there was a doorbell cam at the Airbnb, and the owner was like, "Hey, so there's a lot of people there," and we were like, "Oh,
Dude,
cool." So that
Our
got shut down
Airbnb
pretty
was
quick.
so strict.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, they never said anything to me, but I didn't read the rules about our Airbnb before I booked it. I was just like, this is a good size house with the right number of bedrooms and beds
Yeah.
for not a lot of money.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
TJ came over one night, we're like, "Your name is Chad." If anyone asks.
because
Yeah.
they wanted to charge us like all these extra fees and like no one there after 9 and no drinking outside and none of this. And I was like, oh, that's fine.
Yeah, like we weren't there to like party, but a lot of it was like pretty tight as to what they wanted.
Yeah. So, yeah, I can't imagine the amount of like Airbnbs who just get trashed at NAMM. I'm sure it's insane.
And that was the thing with like that whole get together. It's like we definitely were not out of control. Like it was like
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
like you get a party of 30 Instagram guitarists together. What happens? Everyone's playing guitar and nerding out. No
Yeah.
one's actually partying or socializing. Like that was the whole thing. But it was just funny because it got shut down pretty quick. And then went and saw Silent Planet. Who opened for them? Thornhill, this band from Australia. They were really cool. They were
Cool.
really cool, kind of like alt metal. Yeah, there's like an Aussie sound for sure, and like North Lane, Thornhill, like any of those bands. Like there's this cool kind of like almost like new metal-y, poppy kind of metal thing going on,
Yeah,
and like
They got their own scene.
Yeah, and Thornhill, I was like and it was funny, I didn't realize at the time we were standing with the producer who did the Thornhill record, and I had no idea.
Nice.
Also did the first 2 Sleep Token records, which is sick.
Wow.
But yeah, they were awesome. I was like, Silent Planet was amazing, and I knew it, like, their live show was still better than I expected. It was really cool. They actually had, like, for their whole stage set, they literally just had a projector, like, going over them. So they had, like, animated video for the whole set that was, like, over top of them. It was really, really neat.
That's crazy.
It was
Very cool.
kind of like the Spirit Box thing.
Yeah.
But Thornhill, like, I had never really listened to them, and I was like, this band is awesome. So
Nice.
yeah, check out Thornhill. They were great. Yeah.
Scroll up just one little bit, and I just have stop. So Carl, any plans on possibly seeing some Rev amps at big box stores? Nope. The reason why is because honestly, our brand, in my opinion, is still too small to drive enough traffic into big box to move the type of numbers that you have to move in big box to make
Yeah.
it worthwhile for you or for them.
And they're not
So-
gonna put shit in there that they need to advertise. Like big box
No.
stores want stuff that people will just come and buy.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
yeah.
Which we're still relatively small, which is why you should hit that like and subscribe button for us. See how I did that? Pretty slick, eh?
Segue.
Rick, so I have a Generator 120 Mark III. What is the difference between that and the newer version in question? Two, if there's a difference, can mine be modded?
Not
Sam,
really.
Yeah.
So it was funny because Aaron asked me about this too, because he immediately tried the anniversary amp and was like, the mid range is different. He's like, I like this. Like,
Yeah.
can I just? And the first question was, is it just the EL34s?
I mean, that'll get you part of the way there.
They will get you probably halfway there. There is a difference in the circuit. The 34s will give you more. It's like a lower. They break up at a lower point, so you just get more of this natural power amp saturation that contributes to that aggressive mid range.
Yeah, EL34s just are like
they're-
a barkier tube than a 6L6
Yeah.
anyway.
They break. Think about like a V30 versus a creamback. Like a
Yeah.
V30 breaks up and gets harsher quicker. That's kind of what the EL34s are doing, but they're just voiced in that way. So if you have a Mark III, EL34s will partially get you there. but there are some modifications within the circuit, and I don't know how complex it is.
Dan
to do.
won't do mods on it, is what he said. It's just,
Yeah.
it's too much of a
It's-
headache.
It is a
and-
redesign of the circuit.
Yeah, and moving
Yeah.
things back and forth. So it's also not a drastic, like you guys hear what I'm playing tonight. I'm not playing the Anniversary Edition.
No, you're on the Mark III. Yeah.
And I am on, like, the first Mark III. Like, I think this is serial number 1.
That has KT88s mixed with 6Ls in it too, so it's a bit different.
So,
That-
yeah.
Yeah, that's
So-
a little bit of a different voice. Where do I pick up?
Okay. So, did Ryan from 60 Cycle Hum really get that amp from you guys, or did he steal it? No, he didn't steal it.
But the acting was superb.
yeah, he
It was very good.
Yes. Ryan and I have been friends for a very long time, and he came out to our gear, or not gear and beer, but like the Rev Roadshow thing at Pitbull Audio on the Saturday before NAMM, and then so graciously invited us over for tacos.
They were great too.
And we were hanging out in his little video studio, trying all sorts of different amps and checking out pedals and stuff.
That was a fun day.
And yeah, just hanging out.
That was after Pitbull, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And his tacos were
They were
magnifique.
they were fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
his kid shot me with his Nerf
I was
gun.
gonna say his kids are around the age of my kids, and like his son definitely shot his Nerf guns primarily at the two of you. I was thankful.
Luke was egging him on and like hiding behind stuff
Yeah.
and like getting him to try to shoot
Yeah.
him. And
So-
the kid's like, "You're 8 feet tall. You can't hide."
Yep.
Right.
So then, so Ryan and I were talking about amps, and he mentioned something about the D20 that, I can't remember exactly how it came up, but I was like, well, he played the D25 yet? And he's like, no. Oh, no, I remember what it was. He had 2 Princetons in his studio, and I was
Different
like,
than two
oh,
Princes.
I'm like, he does that, and he plays the riff every time. It's super cheeseball.
That's awesome.
So, so
Sounds
I
too
mentioned
young
that,
to
like,
know.
if you like Princeton's, I'm like, you should check out the D25 because they're less, like, abrasive and brittle as a Princeton is. And he was like, well, yeah, but I can't play 2 Princes on it. He's like, but I would also still love to check it out. So then we didn't bring in that one for him to try, did we? No. We brought in one for him to try, and he was like, yeah, he's like, this is awesome. And then I said at NAMM, I said, well, if I have one left over from the show, I'm like, you can take it if you want to use it. Like, you know, like you can use it on your channel or you can just use it personally. Ryan has been, you know, a good friend of ours for, oh man, like since like 2017 or 2018. And yeah, so then anyway, he came by and he's like, oh.
That's a
he's
polarizing
like, I
Tolex
really
color."
like the gold. And I was like, oh, I think you should have that.
Yeah.
And he's like, I think I should. So then he came to pick it up on the Sunday, and he was like, he's like, so can I take it? And I'm like, yeah, just take it. And then he's like, you know, it'd be funny if I made it seem like I was stealing it. I'm like, yeah, it would be. He's like, all right. So then we filmed that. It was fun. So.
But yeah, that amp was like, people were either like, this is the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen, or had the MGK beside it going like if somebody picks that up, do you know they're not one of your customers? Like,
It was funny.
Yeah, we have it there for profiling.
Even when
Yeah.
my dad and CJ came by the shop, I brought, like, CJ's really into like decorative stuff, so I brought them by the wood shop, and I was like, yes, this is where we do the Tolex thing, and I showed them the gold. They're like, that's really loud.
can you turn it down?
Like, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Well, there's one back there that's like Western, but it's like white and teal.
Yeah, that's the Henning
That's-
one.
That's
That's
the
wild.
whatever. I almost said that looks like porcelain.
Yeah.
You know, like yeah.
Oh, little Project 86. Pipe Dreams. That's for like 6 people that might actually know
Yeah.
that riff.
Yeah. Oh, shout out to Chad if he's still watching for, and actually to a bunch of you guys for great suggestions for some tunes for me to listen to on the way home. But shout out to Chad for saying Blindside.
Oh yeah. Were you at the show? Did you
Chad
go see
Neville.
it
Yeah,
live with
Chad
me?
Neville.
Yeah.
When we saw Me
I,
Without You then?
I should have. It's too hot in here for me to wear it, but I still have my Blindside hoodie. So
Yeah, that was a great
Chad
show.
Neville. Blindside.
When was the show?
Oh,
way back.
Blindside.
20 years ago? 2004?
2000? No, not that late.
Really?
So this isn't a new band.
2000.
It was-
Oh no.
I know.
This is like late 90s, early 2000s.
I think you'd like them though.
Yeah.
I think you'd get into it.
Do you ever listen to the Full Blast
No.
from Winnipeg?
No.
Oh man. Okay.
Okay.
I need to.
I'm getting Spotify suggestions.
Yeah. No, it was like I'm pretty sure it's a Winnipeg band that did like one EP, and
okay.
it rips. Like it's so good, but like nothing happened after that.
Every New Day, even the darkest of places.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Best Defenses. Yeah. Check out Every New Day if you haven't listened to Every
What
New
was
Day.
their first album? They had two. No, and also sorry, the Full Blast from Ontario, not Winnipeg, but it was Canada, like hardcore.
Every
band.
New Day.
What was the
Murray
first
Campbell's
album?
nicest guy on the planet.
Yeah, Murray is the
Rips.
nicest guy ever. Yeah. What was the first album called? It was Even in the Darkest Places. Was the one with Best Defenses, and that was the. Or whatever.
Yeah. Whatever it is.
Or something.
He's
like,
so good.
Murray shredded
He was
back
like
in the day.
he was a solid like 5 to 7 years ahead of his time.
Yeah.
And if his band could have just held on, they would have been
Dude,
huge.
They were. I remember I started working at Quest when Scott was working there, and I didn't know how good they were. And then I listened, and I was like,
You're like-
dude, like you should be huge.
My
Some for
band was
$5
a steaming
and-
pile of dog shit next to them, and we beat them in a battle of bands because we were the only band in the venue. Like it was at a church,
Yeah.
and it was like all the bands that went to that church and
Yeah.
us. So we won because we were the only band that all those kids hadn't seen like 40 times. And yeah,
No,
Just
dude,
you
they
go
were.
to the West End Cultural Center, pay $5.
oh yeah,
See
pay
Every New Day.
$5 for 8 bands.
Yeah.
I remember, meeting Murray and Scott and like not really knowing about Every New Day and then listening to it and at the time I was really into like Killswitch and Unearth and stuff
Yeah.
like that and I was like, this sounds like that. Like it was, Yeah.
Yeah, you guys really should, if you can find it. I don't know. I think you can find it on YouTube. Search for Every New Day,
My phone, I was trying to
even
find
the darkest,
it. Even in the darkest.
even in the
places.
darkest places. Man, oh yeah, Matt Gaffney telling me to listen to Wheeler Walker Jr. I'm like,
Dude, I
yeah,
saw him live. Did I tell you I went and saw him?
Yeah.
Holy crap, it was
I'm
amazing.
sad you didn't buy a T-shirt.
Dude,
You sent
I
me
was
pictures.
I sent Jarek a picture of the merch booth, and I was like, dude, I can't like bring this
What
home.
is
If my
anyway?
wife finds this, I'm done. It's like, but
Literally
dude,
there, no way.
his band was amazing. They were so good. They shredded so hard. Like best pedal steel player I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
And it was like the dude did not break a straight face the whole time. He's serious. Like,
I was in Nashville one time at a Gear and Beer event, and there was a group of like session guys at the event. I don't know who all of them were.
yeah.
And I said, like, what's the coolest record you've ever played on? This one dude's like, Wheeler Walker Jr. And I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know the dude was like a Comedy Central writer.
No, I didn't know that either.
Like, I didn't know that because I looked him up.
That
Like
makes sense.
it was a bit. Like it was 100% a bit, and
Yeah.
then it just like it charted.
Yeah.
Like it legitimately charted, and he's like, "All right, well,
I guess we're doing
here
it.
we go." Like yeah, but it was awesome, and we had 4 days off in Austin, and all the out of towners from
With
Oregon.
Posty?
No, that was Nashville.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
But-
I'm confusing all the places you jet off to and
Yeah,
the famous
and
people
hang
you
out with Post
Sorry.
Malone. Yes, exactly.
Sorry you dropped this name right here.
Thanks.
It's-
This is an accident. I told you the story. But we went with the whole Morgan crew, and I just remember TJ, if you're still watching, Lindsay came to the show. Lindsay's Morgan's production manager, and she's like the tour mom. Like you're like the NAMM. Lindsay's
yeah.
the tour mom. Like she's so kind, takes care of everything, all the little details, all this. She's like on it. We brought her to the Wheeler Walker show, and she was just losing her mind. She's like, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, nobody was not just like in stitches laughing. It was the best.
That's awesome.
So,
That's one of my other favorite things about NAMM is like you bump into people, you don't
Yeah.
really know who they are, and then all of a sudden you're
Yeah.
like, oh, you played on that, or you were somehow connected with that project, and kind of hear the inside baseball. That's super cool.
yeah, 100%.
Can
Every
you,
New Day?
Oh, yeah. Okay, hold on. Terrible. I don't know if you're asking about the band we're talking about, but Luke will type it out. So Every New Day, even in the darkest places.
Yes. I'm trying to figure out that even in the
Oh,
darkest
man.
place.
Yeah, it's close there.
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah. And in
There's
like
like-
2006.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, earlier than that.
Yeah.
Like 2004.
Yeah.
And like 19 years old.
2002, 2000, like somewhere 2002, 2004.
Yeah.
Like way early. Yeah. That is, yeah.
Yeah.
Every new day. Yeah, Dorian got a picture with Corey Feldman at
Oh,
NAMM.
man.
He posted it.
Was
Yeah, did
so
he?
good. So he walked by the booth, and Dorian comes like flying over to me. He's like, dude, that's Corey Feldman. And I'm like, shut
No,
up.
no, okay, you got to do a Dorian impression if you're going to do a
Okay,
Dorian
just
impression.
okay, bud.
Bud, it's Corey Feldman.
Just guy. And he's like,
It's so funny because like he probably hasn't been moving all day.
No.
And then Corey Feldman's there. And it's like, boom.
Like-
Corey Feldman's there.
I don't know if you've ever seen Dorian like light up, but he was like, and then he was like, come with me. I gotta get his picture. And I was like, and he was gone. All of a sudden, Dorian disappears, comes back. He's like, oh, guy, check it out. It's like,
Not bad. We'll rate your Dorian impression. It's not bad.
and then
Check it out.
he's like, so I went up to him and I was like, oh, I'm a big fan. Can I get a picture? And he's like, while we're walking, dude.
10 out of 10, you nailed it.
10 out
That's
of
exactly
10.
how Dorian told the story. While we're walking, dude.
While we're walking, dude.
Or as we're walking.
Thank
Sorry.
you.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
as we're walking.
Thanks for that correction there, Luke. That was definitely
Luke is better at
crucial to the
details.
story. Yeah. 2006? Is that when it
Really?
was? Yeah. Okay. Who's JR2? Joe Rogan too?
Sam, were you born in 91?
No.
No.
Sorry to make
I was 11.
Mopar there
I was
feel
born in
old.
90. I was born in 92.
Since this is gear and beer, I'm drinking Modelo now. But anybody else get any cool new gear? I got that telephone thing. I got this guitar back. I got that new John Mark. Yeah. Offset guitar. I don't know what else to call it. Some other cool shit. What did you guys get? What do you got there, buddy? What are you showing? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Bring that over here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Luke. We should have talked about these earlier. We also got
Oh,
these
yeah,
at the
yeah,
show
yeah.
that are
We haven't tried this
our
yet here.
our nice new friends over at AmpRx brought us.
It's real pretty.
Yeah, it is. Brought us
That's sick.
the good old brown box to check out so that you can regulate your voltage and you can starve it a little bit if you want. These are very, very cool. Especially like, I have to see exactly like how well it works for this, but we've been having lots of issues. You don't actually know that much about this yet, but we've been having lots of issues where like in places where people are doing a lot of solar panels on their roof, their power isn't as regulated as it needs to be. So like in Australia, we've been having issues with fuses blowing because instead of them having 240 volt, they're actually getting 247 out of the wall. And we're popping fuses. We were having similar issues in Israel and a couple of other key territories. And like these things, I believe, would absolutely solve that problem for you.
Yeah. Places where there's
but-
not like consistent current. Basically.
Yeah.
Which
So-
does absolutely make a difference in how an amp performs. We battle that all the time.
So big shout out to Cassandra over at AmpRx for giving us one of the brown boxes to check out.
Yeah.
So we'll have this on a live stream, and yeah, exactly. So we'll mess around with like starving. You know, I've got some old Marshalls. We could starve a few of them. We've got this little generator G50 amp that we could try seeing what happens when we starve it and see if it brings more sag.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Marcus.
What's up, Marcus?
I was going to say Marcus and Michael, thank you both. I've seen
Yeah.
you guys posting a bunch recently.
Dude,
and
both Australian boys.
Yeah?
And we're talking about Australia right now.
Awesome. We super duper appreciate that. Thank you guys. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's
Wish
great.
you weren't
great
so
to,
far away.
Great to see
we
you.
come
Love.
visit all the
Dude.
time.
Also,
I'd love to come back to Australia.
love the chicken salt, boys. Like the chicken salt is like
It's amazing.
It's prime.
Chippies.
Oh yeah.
Chicken
Also love
burger.
Clayton's World. For those of you who know Clayton's World.
Sign Santa Claus.
I saw a Clayton shirt recently where it just says cake on it, and it's him holding a burger. It's the best.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Why would he start? You see that last one? No.
No, it's not happening.
yeah. Scotty's got to try some
No,
Vegemite.
I've had Vegemite.
Yeah,
it's
do it.
disgusting.
Do it.
Like, it looks
Down
like
the hatch.
tar.
It looks like hash oil.
Okay. This is
don't know what that
only
looks
for
like, so-
guys. This is only for guys who've had kids. But if you have seen the first
Oh.
diaper fill
From Luke.
of any baby,
It reminds
it's
me of your
like-
early days.
Like,
with
like,
Luke.
like without actual nutrition.
it's
No,
like the
like
very first one.
the very
It's
first.
like meconium
It
or
looks
something
like-
like that is what it's called, and it looks like
like
this.
this.
It's jet black.
Interesting.
Yeah. Do it. No, the whole thing. Do it.
No.
Do it. Do it. The whole thing.
Nah.
Come on.
I mean, maybe on a little bit with toast.
Sean says that's exactly it. Ugh.
This guitar sounds awesome. TJ, I love you. It feels great.
I love you even though you didn't do a guitar for me.
Joey, I'm from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, bud. He says this guy watches Trailer Park Boys. I was born there.
The hash driveway.
Yeah, the hash driveway, dude. No,
Okay.
I'm actually not joking.
All right,
I'm from
you-
5 minutes from there.
So, we may have been watching Trailer Park Boys while we drove. Because it was
Randy
a long drive to
O'Bandy.
NAMM.
Yep.
And when we were there.
I mean, I was more listening, but definitely Luke and Sam were watching the cheeseburger picnic.
Jump the cheeseburger.
Oh. Were you at Country Fest when they were there?
No.
That was so Country Fest is like a local festival in the
surprisingly
middle of
big.
nowhere. It's
Yeah.
kind of in the middle of nowhere, but it's
Canada's
a big deal.
longest running country music festival
Yeah.
in Dauphin, Manitoba.
Happens over the like Canada Day weekend.
Yep.
Beginning of July. And there was one year where Randy and Mr. Leahy were there, and they did not break character. They were backstage hanging out with us.
I've met them at an event before, and like Leahy the whole time was just messing with people. Like he was doing the whole thing, coming around like stealing chicks' drinks, and, like throwing them, and like all this stuff. It was insane.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
I didn't
so
get
good.
him to break character, but I got John Dunsworth to give me a wink. And
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's the most I got. And I just said, like, because he was there the whole weekend, and
Yeah.
he's standing backstage with his, like, whiskey, and he's like,
and
there's nobody
and,
watching.
and he doesn't drink.
yeah,
He doesn't drink.
just wobbling, and I'm standing there, and he looks over at,
R.I.P. Leahy.
yeah, he looks over at me, and I'm like, I can't believe that you're able to do this the whole time that
Like
you're
the
here.
commitment.
I'm
Yeah.
like, and not break character. I'm like, yeah. And I
Dude.
said, and I had talked with Sarah Dunsworth a number of times back when I was doing some stuff with Jonathan Torrens, like with
Yeah,
J
yeah.
Rock, right?
J-Rock.
Yeah.
And I just said like, I'm like, you know, I'm a huge fan, and I'm like, it's been awesome having you here. And I just said, I'm like, tell Sarah that I said hi, right? And that's when I got a wink, and then he
Yeah.
walked off. And I was like, that's awesome.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I remember. I forget what it was, but I went in like grade. I would have been just 18. I would have been like 12th grade, and I know it's 441 Main now, but it used to be something else, and like they did like a nightclub hang night with Leahy and Randy hosting it. And yeah, the whole time like he was so dialed. It was insane. Like
What's
it,
up,
and
Amanda?
literally the whole night he just walked around like with a wireless mic that was going over the PA just talking, and it was like it was amazing.
So good.
Yeah. But
Yeah, it was awesome.
hello Amanda, hello chat.
I am impressed that there's somebody named Amanda here, because apart from my wife,
And my mom.
your mom, and sometimes maybe Luke's mom,
Very rarely.
very rarely is there anybody
Who is
that-
not a male?
who
Female persuasion.
yeah, might possibly be female. So not saying that Amanda is for sure female, but I'm impressed.
Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate you.
Thanks for
Okay,
potentially
Marcus,
being
this is-
part of the 1%.
Marcus has given us the like, here's how you do Vegemite.
Yeah,
Toast
throw
butter.
that shit in the garbage, man.
Dude,
Small
I've heard
amount.
this so many times. They're like, yeah, it's good if you do this, and it's like, why
Right.
would I do that?
It's
I
good
would
if
just
you cover the bread with everything but to
Yeah.
mask the taste of the
A
vegetable.
little bit of
Yeah.
brown sugar,
Yeah.
a little bit of. Where's everybody watching from?
All dudes. Yeah, that's a great
yeah.
question.
And are you a dude in a black T-shirt?
Yeah, exactly. It's a,
Yeah. Thanks.
Amanda is. That's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish there was more representation in what we do.
Yes.
Honestly, like
I have.
Yeah.
like truth. I'm not saying that ironically. Like, I
Yeah.
truly wish there was because there's so many amazing female musicians that.
And we actually at NAMM
Yeah.
do tend to see a lot of killer female players come by.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
man.
rip on stuff.
Tatiana.
Tatiana
Yeah.
in at Pitbull Audio.
Yeah, she's
'Kay,
amazing.
Legit. I'm not saying this because she was female. I'm saying this because I was shooting a video that you guys will see on our social media later. I was shooting a video with Ryan and was it Nick? No, it wasn't Nick.
Ryan Berkey.
Ryan Berkey. Anyway, I'm gonna remember his name after it's over. Dude who won the amp in 12 Days of Christmas.
Oh, Saskatchewan.
No. In San Diego. Remember the dude who won the amp?
Oh,
So I was shooting-
Nathan.
Nathan. Yeah, not
Rainey.
Nick.
Yeah.
So I was shooting that video, and I hear somebody playing the tastiest clean and overdriven tones. And I'm like, no offense, but I'm like, that's not Sam. I know how Sam sounds. And I'm
Yeah.
like in the middle of this video, and I'm like, let's see who this is.
Yeah.
And I turn around, and it's Tatiana playing, and I was just like, oh, this is amazing.
Her tone was so good.
Just unbelievable.
Yeah.
There are
Yeah.
a handful
And
of people
and
who can do
unique.
that. Who
Yeah.
can
Yes.
like stop like Sean, I don't want to embarrass him, but like Sean can stop a room when he starts playing. Like at
Yeah.
NAMM,
Yeah.
people turn their heads because it's not the standard noodling. It's all of a sudden
It's
you
not the
hear
Guitar
this.
Center sweep of doom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Nice. You're in Ontario. I don't know where Plainfield, Ontario is.
What's her last name, Tatiana? She does on Instagram.
Sweden.
I'll
I've
find
been to
it.
Stockholm for a day. Spent a day in Stockholm. I would go back in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Do I get bonus points that it's a gear company?
Yes.
What gear company is it? You get tons of bonus points for that. Chris Wiley, what's up, Chris? Like, yeah, dude, you should have come to NAMM this year.
Plainfield,
Belleville.
that's
Nice.
Belleville. Cool. Yeah.
That is that anywhere close to Cosmo Music and like is that close to Toronto?
No, Cosmo is like East Toronto.
York, North York.
Oh, it's in North York.
Isn't Cosmo in North York?
That's like North Toronto. Then.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
It's the same as Los
I
Angeles
thought-
to
I
me,
thought-
bud.
I
It's
thought-
all Toronto.
I thought Cosmo.
You know what else? Abbotsford is Vancouver.
No, it's not.
So is Langley.
No, it's
Yep,
not.
it's all
Oh, Langley is more so than Abbotsford.
They're all Vancouver to me, buddy.
Nope.
Yep, it's all one big ass city.
Thanks, Luke. We're getting the Instagram handle there for Tatiana.
What's that?
1 hour west of Kingston. Okay. Aaron lives in Kingston now.
Oh, Kingston's. Oh yeah, that Kingston's like
Home of the tragically
Fur-
hip.
further east. Yeah.
Richmond Hill.
Richmond
okay.
Hill. Cool.
This is the thing. You asked for like music suggestions while you were driving, and I literally
Do you
looked
want a
through my
fun story?
Spotify, and I was like, "There's nothing here.
Yeah.
There's nothing you would like."
Yeah.
I'm like,
Well, that's
tragically
100%
hip's great for when you're driving. Did you listen to the Canadian one?
No, but I have before. The Canadian road trip one.
Yeah.
No, fun story. Okay, you guys ready for this?
Y'all
Super
ready for this?
Canadianity. Okay. So, Perfecto, if he's still watching, he probably isn't, but Perfecto and I were hanging out, and we went to check out Wild West Guitars in Pasadena, which is like
little old lady from
high-end
Pasadena.
guitars. Like
Yeah, you guys were there the other day, like not long ago. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
James Tyler's Fender custom shops, all like, yeah, very, very expensive guitars, right? And one of the two guys there, his name's Glenn, he starts talking to me and he's like, so like, he's like, where are you from? I'm like, I'm from Winnipeg area. And he's like, oh, cool. He's like, so, he's like, I used to live in, I think he said he was in like Seattle area. And he spent a decent amount of time in Vancouver. So he's like, he's like, you know the band Sloan? I'm like, oh, yes, I do. I'm like, not personally. And I'm like, they are one of my favorite Canadian bands. And he's like, yeah, he's like, we used to play all sorts of shows with them. And like, he's like, how about the Odds? Were you ever a fan of the Odds? Like, my brother's head's about to explode right now because these are all his favorite bands from the 90s.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, he's like, I played like a bunch of shows with them back in the day. He's like, and you want to know something crazy? So he's listing off every Canadian obscure, like, for an American to know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, holy shit, man. Like, no one in Los Angeles knows these bands.
Who Moist is.
Yeah, so he's like, you know, I mean, he was talking to me about Big Rec, obviously, but Big Rec's, like, Ian's a little better known because of Sir, I think, at least among the guitar community. And
Ian is known for himself.
yes.
Yeah.
But the thing that was crazy is he's like, you know, he's like, we used to play shows in, he's like, we would play shows in like Idaho and in like Utah. He's like, with the Tragically Hip. He's like, and we would play to like maximum 50 people.
Yeah.
And he said, and then I would go to Vancouver with them and we would be in like the arena. And I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so he was talking about how,
Canada has
just
its
the
own
like
thing.
the stark difference. And the other dude from, I'm bad with names, so I'm forgetting his name right now. But the other dude from Wild West was like, really? And I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, the amount of Canadian bands that could tour arenas in Canada and would be playing small clubs in the U.S. I'm like, it's staggering.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same
Like-
thing. Like we'll headline every festival in Canada and then play the 2 p.m. slot in the States.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know?
Like Sloan should be a huge band.
Yes.
The Trans-Canada Highwaymen. Have you heard this project? So it's Chris Murphy from Sloan, dude from Pursuit of Happiness, Stephen Page,
Oh, yeah.
formerly of the
Naked
and
Ladies.
one of the dudes from the Odds. The four of them go out and play like kind of like what Took does. They go and they play like 60s and 70s Canadian covers, but then they also play all of the hits that they're famous for.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, April Wine. Dude, April Wine is awesome.
Yeah. Harlequin.
Chilliwack. Like, so many good Canadian bands. I'm Mother Earth. Love I'm Mother Earth.
Yeah.
Jag's a killer guitar player, so. Yeah. Sloan, I really like the Trues, which are like, to
Yeah.
me, like,
I was gonna say they
the-
were another good
like a more popular version
yeah.
of Sloan, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Sam Roberts is pretty big too.
All right, you guys should ask us any other questions you have because we're past Sam's expiry date.
I didn't say shit.
Tons is great. That album is super good. Amanda, I don't think anybody else would know any Tons stuff.
Did Amanda say what gear shirt she was wearing? I didn't see that in the comments.
She has tons of she knows her stuff. Whole bunch of Sloan fans here too, eh?
Yeah,
I never
man.
think of. Are they? No, they are from Halifax,
Tessie
aren't
Switch.
Halifax.
they?
Nice.
They are,
Well,
I was
Halifax.
gonna say, I just remember Sloan being big
Toronto
in
via
Halifax, like
Halifax.
before they were big. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like, I remember growing up and Sloan was playing like local stuff.
Underwhelmed still gets played.
Where is the clock, Robbie? Curious as to what you think the clock is in this situation.
Yeah, where is the clock?
There.
Right here.
Oh, with the,
thing
fox.
with the coyote
what
on
does
it,
the
or the
fox
fox,
say?
whatever
It's
it is.
okay. I wasn't.
That's not-
It's okay.
that's not
I wasn't
coyote.
checking the timer in the top corner. That's fine.
You're only here for Nickelback riffs. Dude, I wish I could play Nickelback riffs. Okay, full
Wait.
disclosure, I listened to Nickelback's Get Rollin' record several times on the way home.
Is that the San Quentin, like the new one?
Yeah, record is awesome.
Yeah.
Kicks ass.
Rickard kicks.
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't like Nickelback, you're a moron. So,
People slag on Nickelback,
You can't.
but they're doing
There's
it.
no way you can't.
they are Canada's
Yeah.
AC/DC, and AC/DC rules, and so does Nickelback.
Yeah.
I heard somebody describe Coldplay as the UK's Nickelback, and I was like, that's fairly accurate. People love to hate them.
Coldplay.
In terms of
is-
what they represent, yes.
Yeah.
Coldplay is Wish.com U2.
No, they're more indie. No,
There's not
Okay.
enough delay.
Great value U2.
no.
Oh,
It's different. Coldplay is more minimal.
Anthony, I agree that they're the best rectotone ever. The
Nickelback?
Nickelback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Their
So-
production is unbelievable.
April Wine.
April
nice.
Wine is your favorite band.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Good band.
Yes.
Giant tiger, YouTube.
La Tigra.
Terrible says weird. That's what scientists say about not liking Rush.
Yeah.
Coldplay is the world's Coldplay. It's better no matter how you look at it.
Robbie, we finally agree about something besides Pickard's.
I don't like most Coldplay songs, but there's a couple songs they have that are just like, this is a fantastic song.
Yeah.
You can't deny this. Like, yeah.
What, Fix You?
Fix You.
A blush red to the or rush of blood to the head is a
That
great
whole
album.
record's
That
fantastic.
whole record's
yeah.
great.
And honestly, Death and All His Friends was a great record too. Like that's a newer one, but like I really enjoyed some of the songs on that album. Yeah.
Oh,
Parachutes is good. Yeah.
I think that was Luke that typed that, and he highlighted his own comment.
Yeah, it is good.
Yeah.
Oh, it was restreamed.
They're like, we heard you were saying the video was our fault, so we chimed in.
Yeah.
Um.
It was AI.
Yeah. Anthony, you hate U2? How can you hate U2?
I know a lot of people
Yeah.
who do.
I'm not a big fan.
Oh
Not
man,
a big fan.
like
The Edge did some cool shit, but I can't stand Bono. Sorry.
Nickelback, Animals by Nickelback. Yeah, dude, the kick drum in Animals is like my favorite kick drum in all of rock recordings. Also, careful about the Creed there, bud. Careful. Tread lightly, bud.
I will say, not to
Love Creed.
but
Mark's a good friend.
I did a Dallas gig once where Chad Kruger came out and hung out. That dude is a rip. He parties so hard.
I told you my story.
Yes.
Like, 100% he does.
He was so nice. Like, nicest
So-
dude ever. But, like, holy crap, that dude parties.
The craziest thing about it is like, I mean, I used to work as a concert rigger, and you and I have seen probably at this point more than 1,000 shows.
Yeah.
Do you think? Right? Like, and you can tell the difference between like good singers and like just like and great singers, right? Like remember the first time we saw Guns N' Roses on the Chinese Democracy comeback? And like I was at the arena and like I had been making fun of Axl Rose like all day because we went for breakfast and he came right up behind me in the line at catering for breakfast. Have
With
I
his
told you this story?
cornrows?
Chad Kruger?
No,
Or,
Axl Rose.
Oh, yeah, you did.
And like, he came right up behind me and he had like cornrows in and was complaining about like how he wasn't gonna eat that shit. And he's like, "Are you gonna eat that?" I'm like, "Yeah, "That's what they give us." He's like, "I'm not gonna eat that shit." And I'm like, "I don't think you have to." He's like,
Yeah.
"You're right, I don't." Anyway, so when they go to start the show, I was just like, dude's washed up. The first note out of his mouth, I was like, I will shut my mouth. Like, holy shit. Far cry from when I saw him this summer.
And he sounds
And
like
he
the
sounded
old
like
man
Herbert
from-
the pervert from Family Guy a little bit, but I mean I saw Guns like right before the pandemic at the stadium, phenomenal, and he sang for 3 and a bit hours, like so. But like the difference between phenomenal singers and just good singers. So Nickelback, Dorian and I went to see them in Fargo in October. Because we got to know a couple of the guys on Nickelback's crew, and they invited us down. It was the last show of their tour. Also, our good friend Noah Henson was playing with Brantley Gilbert. Brantley was opening. So we went to hang out with Noah and, Nickelback's Tex. And I hadn't seen Nickelback in more than a decade. I don't think, because I think it'd be about 10 years since I last saw them at the MTS Center.
Yeah.
And show started, and Chad sounded unbelievable. But what really highlighted how good he was is they brought out another dude who was also named Chad, who sang in a Nickelback tribute band to
Right.
sing Rockstar. And when this guy started, I was like, yeah, he's a good singer. Then Chad takes over, and I was like, get that other asshole off the stage.
Yeah.
Because he sucks. And if you had seen this other dude any other night, you'd be like, that guy's pretty good. But like the difference between
There's an energy that's different. Yeah.
oh, and it just what's the power in their voice? Like they're like the power in his voice is unbelievable, and also really impressive that like he was able to do it when he was probably pretty well half ripped by the end of the night, and he was still and he's a great guitar player. Both of those guys are good guitar players, like Chad and Ryan. Yeah. Anyway, that's my rant about Nickelback.
Yeah.
So, Axel sucked live in the Chinese Democracy area. He's better now. Dude, he was awesome when I saw him on Chinese Democracy, and I just saw him this summer, and it was a train wreck this summer. But,
Nobody beats Vince Neil for train wrecks right now, though.
oh, yeah.
Oof. I don't know how
Yeah.
many times I've seen Motley Crue. 6?
So many.
Like, and
so
2 or
many.
3 of them on the same Carnival of Sins tour. that came
Carnival of
through.
Madness and Carnival of Sins. Or no, it wasn't Carnival of Madness. That was Shinedown. Yeah, Carnival of Sins, and then it was also called something else, but it was the exact same setup. It was the same big
production.
top thing that they just recycled. Yeah, they were here. Motley Crue was here 5 times in 4 years one year. Like they came back twice in a year, but it was a killer show back then.
And
Not so much
Transcona
now.
was out in full force.
Yes, they were.
The
I have
entire,
fun
the entire
stories.
club reached the seed cup box.
Yeah. So good. Vince Neil's a complete train wreck. Yeah. Yeah.
Marcus, Sound Awake is probably like objectively one of the top 5 best albums of all time ever. Have you ever heard of Carnival?
Yeah, you've talked to me about them like 3 or 4 times
They
now.
have
'cause
they have 3 albums out. I don't think they put out an album in over 10 years, but like man, like that Sound Awake album is completely over the top compared to anything that came out in that period of time. Like it's unbelievably good.
Joey, I don't know if Rush is going to tour, but I can tell you if they do, I won't be going. So
They're done. I'm pretty sure they're done.
no,
I've
they're
heard
talking
rumors.
about they're talking about going back out.
Jake
With
this
Danny
thing,
Carey,
Jake
but I
this
don't
thing
think that's
rips
happening.
super hard. By the way, for the price, if you're thinking about this, 100% do it.
Did you know that Rich Rankin is friends with Danny Carey?
Yes, he is. I saw a photo.
Yeah.
They were hanging out the other night.
Yeah.
Rich Rankin.
Rich Rankin is also talking about NAMM staples where we started talking about the Panda, our great
Yep.
friend Jeremy Krull, who is always the best to see when we're in like the LA area. Also Rich Rankin
Yeah.
from
And-
James Tyler Guitars and
Super
from-
good dude. And another
Yeah.
one of those unassuming guys that's like, oh, yeah, I was hanging out with Alice in Chains while they were recording Dirt. You're like, what? Like, tell me what that was like. Last year, we're hanging out with him and some buddy of his. And this won't mean much to too many other people, but we're chatting away, and he's like, oh, have you met my friend Derry? And I'm like, no. He's like, oh, he was in a couple of bands back in the, like, late 90s and 2000s. And I was like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, would I know anything? He's like, oh, he was in a band called The Choir. I'm like, Derry Doherty? You're Derry Doherty? And he's, like, played on a bunch of massive albums in Christian rock back in that era. And I was like, yeah, just this quiet, unassuming guy. He's like, oh, yeah, no, yeah, we're still doing our thing. Yeah.
That's so cool.
And, of course, he's best friends with
And
Rich.
90% of the time when you meet someone like that, that's how they're that's how they are.
Exactly.
It's like, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing the
Oh,
thing.
sorry, you have 8 Grammys? Cool. Like,
Yeah. They're like, oh yeah, I forgot
oh,
about
yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, they're somewhere.
Is
Yeah.
that more or less than Beyonce?
Beyonce has not won Album of the Year.
I know that.
We've
That was the joke.
Also, when we were talking earlier about Hardy and country, it's like country's where it's at because Beyonce's switching. She's gone country.
Is she?
Yeah, her
Have you
new
not
single's
heard
so
her
good.
new
Dude,
single?
her new song is the Franklin theme song.
That's Bruce Coburn.
No, like you know Franklin the Turtle, like
Yeah.
TV show as a kid. Like her new song is literally Franklin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's Bruce Coburn that wrote Franklin's theme song.
Bruce Coburn wrote it.
Bruce Coburn.
I didn't know
wrote
that.
the
Do you know
Frank-
Luke?
the
Have you
original
seen Luke? Have
Franklin.
you seen the memes?
Hey, it's Frank.
It's funny. Beyonce's new song came out, and my wife likes Beyonce.
This ain't Texas.
And she's like, this song reminds me of
Your
something.
wife?
My actual wife that I'm
Your
married to
wife.
legally. Yes. And then she's
But
and
your
her
wife likes
and then
it, not
was
you.
it was so funny because she's like the song reminds me of something, and then she came up, she's like, I figured out what it is, and she plays me the Franklin theme song. She's like, it's the Franklin song, and then immediately I start seeing Instagram and TikTok videos being like, Beyonce's new song is Franklin.
That's so
It was like it was really funny. Yeah. Robbie,
Nice.
Robbie, listen to it. It's a good song, but like it literally sounds like
It's
Franklin.
country. It's like this ain't text. You've seen it on TikTok.
It's already
like,
TikTok viral.
Yeah.
It's a good song. It's a great song. But it literally is Franklin. Yeah.
Hey, Bruce.
don't know what to put
Joey,
there.
I've actually heard that MGK is a good dude. Yeah.
Posty tell you?
Yes.
Just checking.
Okay, great.
Did
yeah.
you bring out the?
I made sure to ask
Sweet.
him.
Oh, yeah, I started the stream
I
with it.
made sure to ask him about every person he knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
In the 30 seconds that I talked to him.
like Chris Farley.
I was gonna
when
say,
he
did
was
you
like,
do in the
Do you,
Chris
do you-
Farley?
do you remember? Do you remember that time when you were hanging out with a machine gun? That was awesome.
I didn't mean Machine Gun Kelly.
No, do you know the skit he's talking about? Where he's talking to Paul McCartney. He's like,
He does a couple of
interviews-
them on SNL.
don't
Where it's
remember.
Chris
Chris
Farley. He's
Farley?
like, I never had to do this part. Do you remember when you were in the Beatles? He's like, yeah.
yeah.
It's like,
okay.
yeah, that was
I remember
awesome.
that. I remember that. Yeah, okay, I remember now. Yeah. Yeah, that was awesome.
That was awesome.
yeah, that was cool. Yeah, you like
You
that.
just wrote a 2006 metalcore song.
Robbie, this is Franklin. Hey, it's Franklin.
I'll show you after. You'll
Okay,
lose it. It's
so
the
good.
best.
Oh, nice, good. Oh, did I tell you that he has a new saying, or did you hear about Max's new saying?
No.
Awesome, cool.
yeah. That's awesome.
Just walks up. And his other favorite one is like, oh, Daddy, let's go.
Yeah.
Even when we're not going anywhere, he's like, Daddy, let's go.
Yeah.
Awesome, cool. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Cool.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding us that we're going way too long here, Jeff. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us.
Yeah, it was great.
It was fun.
Good chat.
Don't forget to join the Rev community on Facebook and subscribe to us on the old YouTubes.
Yep. Next week we're giving away an
yeah,
amplifier.
if
We're
you
gonna
haven't
post about it more.
if you haven't signed up for the contest,
yeah.
we're real good at this, guys. Like
Yeah.
I mean,
I will say we did it during NAMM, a bunch of other shop stuff. Like it still is going on. This week we'll make sure that people know that so they can get their last chance to join. But next week we are giving away the anniversary amp.
you know what? We are top shelf at promoting our actual stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just what it is. So.
I need a tambourine or something. I'm getting emotional. Yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna let you do it.
Thanks for hanging out, guys. Yep. Oh, yeah.
Damn it! I didn't do what I wanted. That's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, see you guys. We'll be back next week. We're giving away an amp. Thanks, Scott, for joining. Good hang. We'll see you next time. Oh, it's back. Oh, it's back.